Edwards.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Samantha Sprague-Pete, 1931, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ronald Edwards is not here. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, we do show that currently there is past due rent in the amount of $4,999, as well as court costs in the amount of $239.72, for a total due and owing of $5,238.72. To the best of my knowledge, the unit was kept fit and habitable for its intended purpose. The defendant is not a minor, nor in the military, nor otherwise incapable of attending today's hearing. We would respectfully request a default judgment as to possession only, as I do show that this was a posted service.
Yes. Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issued in 10 days.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day. We'll see you this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was it. Okay, yes, we will. All right, take care. Haverhill on Clark versus Sylvia, a Mary Brewer.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
Good morning. Do we have them?
No, actually.
Mary Brewer. They are not here. If you'd like to take a default, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. At this point, due to the defendant's lack of appearance, a plaintiff moves for a default judgment for possession. Rent to retain is currently $3,854. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $4,024. We would be seeking a writ to issue on May 4th, 2026. No money judgment is entered, and to my knowledge, the defendant is not a minor, incapacitated, or in the military. And then, to my knowledge, the unit has been kept fit for its intended use and purpose, and in compliance with the local health and safety codes. That was a mouthful.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested. Writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Eric Britton.
Hello, Judge. Good morning, Judge.
And good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
All right. Good morning. And what is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Plaintiff is alleging $899.90 in arrears due and owing through the end of this month. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $1,069.90.
$1,069
and 90 cents. 90.
90 cents. Okay. Thank you. All right. And how are you intending on getting that paid?
I've been paying all month, so I just I'm doing Uber Eats right now. It'll be paid by the rest of the month. Can I explain just a little bit briefly to you, so you know why I'm behind?
Well, I don't. I'll go ahead if you want briefly.
Yeah, my security deposit, it was moved out of my rent balance at the end of February, so I had to pay like $1,500 on top of my $1,300 rent in March. So that's just what put me a little behind, but I'll be back caught up before May starts.
Before May 1st?
Yes. I owe $900 currently.
Okay, well, you owe that plus costs, so you owe about $1,070 right now.
To the court, or?
No, that's all to the plaintiff, all to your landlord.
Oh, all right.
All right. So within, say, this next week, how much can you get paid? How much can you get? Yeah.
7 days. 800.
Okay, so you can get 800 sometime this week. I'm just going to put by the 30th. Okay. Now the problem is going to be is that your May rent's going to click in.
Yeah.
Okay, so your balance, you're going to pay part of this, but then your balance is going to kick back up by the time we come back for the next hearing.
Right.
Okay. And council, I don't have another date until May 8th. I'm not here on the 1st for second hearings. So I'm going to have to adjourn this to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. Sir, that's an in-person hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to get the 800 in and then whatever else you can get in, and then we'll come back and we'll figure out where we are and see what we can do on this. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge. And I will note that my manager with Haverhill is also in the Zoom gallery in case any of the defendants have any questions or,
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Yeah, all right. You do the same. Oh, just give me
There are some people on at 8:30. Your next day is
one of them. Haverhill on Clark versus Jail Brewer.
good morning, Ronnie Haddad for the plaintiff.
Not,
They are not checked in. Brewer. Okay, the only thing I'd indicate, counsel, I'll let you proceed with the default. I do have information from Hawk that they were waiting on employer verification to determine their eligibility for assistance. But I would let you proceed with the default in this case.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff does move for a default judgment for possession. Currently, rent to retain is $2,606. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $2,776 due and owing through the end of April. We would be seeking a writ date of 5/4/2026. No money judgment is entered. And to my knowledge, the defendant is not a minor, incapacitated, or in the military. I would just ask my client with Haverhill if they are aware or if they have received any correspondence or communication from Hawk as to what amount would be they were willing to cover.
They probably, counsel, I might be able to answer that. They probably have not, only because this is the beginning stages, from my understanding, where they're getting information from the tenant to determine whether or not they're eligible.
Okay.
So they probably haven't reached out to the landlord at this point.
Okay, and then my question to the court, Your Honor, in this event, although we are entitled to a default judgment, if the defendant was to file something and indicate that they are working with Hawk, would the court be inclined to set the default judgment aside with proof?
It depends on how they would do that. What I might do is, rather than set the judgment aside, if it looks like funding is coming through, I may hold off on signing the writ to give them time or something along those lines.
That's fair. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Jennifer Carthage.
Good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
She
Hi,
is,
Jennifer Carthage.
there she is. Okay, hello. All right. How much is owing on, what is plaintiff's claim?
Yes, Judge. I'm showing rent to retain currently in the amount of $2,510. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total of $2,680.
I wonder why is it
All
the
right.
2,000? Because on my paper it said 14.
All right, your paper, you mean on the notice that you received for court?
Yes, it said 1410. Why is it?
Okay,
25?
and if you look at the date that was signed, that only takes you through March.
Okay.
So April's now up due.
Okay. But I wanted to know where the other 1,000 came from.
I'm sorry?
The other 1,000, where did that come from?
What's your monthly rent?
It's my
Your
monthly
monthly
rent
rent's
is
about
13.
1,300.
Yeah.
So at the end of March, you owed 1,441 according to the complaint. Your monthly rent is about 1,300. That's going to take you around $2,750. And I'm assuming there might be a payment in there. So that's good. That April is what brings the number up, man.
Okay.
That is correct, Your Honor. It looks like there was a payment on April 2nd, 2026, but before that payment, there was, let me see, actually. My ledger is very light. I'm not really sure if I don't want to make any misrepresentations to the court, but
No,
there was a payment made, and then that brought the balance to 2,400. And oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Judge. I cannot read it. And then April late fees, and so that brought the balance to 2,510. Which does not include the attorney fees and costs. And I mean, this is going to be in adjournment anyway. If the defendant has any questions, she's obviously more than welcome to go to management and have a conversation about.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
All right.
I also filled out for DHS too, because I currently lost my job, so I'm trying to figure that out too.
Okay.
My job
So here's the
closed.
thing. You don't, between now and the next date, you don't have anything you think you can pay. Is that correct?
Well, my next check will come until next week on Wednesday. Well,
All
so
right.
it come Wednesday night, so I won't have anything till like Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. So that's the 30th. How much do you think you can pay?
I could pay 1,000.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna put that you're gonna pay that 1,000 by the 30th. I'm gonna adjourn your case out to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. Okay.
Okay, you said
what-
May 8th.
Go ahead.
May 8th.
Yeah, May 8th. That's 2 Fridays from today. Okay.
Okay.
What I want you to do is, what you can do is you can get to the management, try to see what you can work out, if anything. What I'm also going to suggest you do, have you called Hawk? Or,
No, I just filled out for DHS and I have an appointment on the 27th with them.
Okay, so you filled out something for state emergency relief?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, just so that you know, how many people are in your unit?
Just me.
Just you? All right. So that would be about $400. $410 is the most that they're going to pay on that.
Okay.
So don't think it's the name is a bad name when they say state emergency relief, because it sounds like they might cover everything. That's not going to happen. Okay.
Mhm.
So I say that so that people don't think that that's out there. What I would like you to do though is to contact Hawk. Do you have that phone number?
I can look it up.
Oh, well, why don't I give it to you? You got something to write with?
Yeah.
Because by the time you look it up, you'll forget to call. And then I'll be staring at you asking why you didn't call.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Here's the number. It's 734 961
Okay.
1999.
Okay.
Okay. So call them. Now, one other thing, in your packet, there's a rental assistance form. Okay. You need to fill that out and put particularly your DHS tracking number that you have on that form and submit that to the court by Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, I don't mean to interrupt the court. I'm glad that the court actually brought this, shed some light on this. I just want to manage the defendant's expectations. I did hear her say that she's currently unemployed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't start my next job until the end of the month.
Okay, so I just wanted to manage the expectations, Your Honor, because unfortunately the caveat to state emergency relief, even though it is deceiving, the title, the name state emergency relief, is that the defendant has to be working, has to have some type of income coming in, otherwise she wouldn't qualify. That is the caveat.
No, she said, right.
my
She
job
said
closed.
that hold on.
Okay.
She said that she was going to start a new job.
Right.
So they're going to, both Hawk and DHS would be making a sustainability determination. So I don't worry about that. But my understanding is she was starting a new job.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. So we'll see you on May 8th, 1 p.m.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Haverhill on Clark versus, is it Tyler Jackson? Probably pronounced that wrong.
Good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
Oh, there she is. Trying to get unmuted. Just relax. You get unmuted. We'll wait a little bit. No, you're not unmuted.
Okay.
There you go.
We go. Sorry. Good morning.
What's your good morning? All right. What is plaintiff's claim?
Plaintiff is alleging $3,127 in rent to retain, attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total of $3,297.
All right. All right, Ms. Jackson, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Yeah. So I've been just paying every 2 weeks as I get paid $1,000 for the last 2 months. I've been trying to catch up that way. I've also reached out to DHS as well. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them. It's been about
All
a
right.
week.
All right. Let's break that apart a little bit. How many people are in your unit?
2.
2.
Mhm.
Okay. So that you know, DHS, that's going to be about 520 that they cover. Okay.
Anything helps.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I just want to make sure that you understood that. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the first thing. And then you can pay $1,000. When can you pay that by, you think?
Yeah. So I can pay that by next Friday.
By the 1st?
Yes.
Okay. So pay that to the landlord on the 1st.
Okay.
Okay. Your monthly rent is around $853.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll be, I guess we'll be staying steady is best way to kind of put it. Okay. So
Okay.
with the DHS, you need to fill out the form that's in your packet called a rental assistance form. File that with the court by next Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. What I also want you to do then also is call Hawk. Okay.
Okay.
And see whether or not you can get some assistance to get yourself sort of to ground zero so that then you can catch yourself up. Okay. That balance has to be under 3,000 by the time that they pay. Okay.
Okay.
So, let's do this. I'll adjourn it out to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. Okay.
Okay. 1 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. Do you
Okay.
have Hawk's number?
Yes.
All right. So give them a call right away so you can get yourself in line and get an appointment and see what your eligibility might be. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You have a great day.
You as well.
Judge, I must add that I'm thoroughly impressed by Your Honor's knowledge of the amounts that are covered by DHS. I might have to call the court and ask, and you know, in my other cases in different districts.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think any
Okay.
other judge. I don't think any other judge is aware of any formula or whatever that's used by DHS to calculate the amounts that are covered.
Gosh. What's that in? I'm brilliant. That's why? No, I'm kidding. Here's what I'll do. We have a chart here and I'll just have my staff send that over to you.
Okay, that sounds good. I appreciate that.
Right? Okay. Haverhill on Clark versus Kristen Russell.
Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
And I think he's here. There he is.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Russell.
Hello.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim?
Your Honor, it looks like this is just a residual balance of $114. That does not include the attorney fees and costs of $170. So he does have a total of $284 with the attorney fees and costs. This is a situation where if he just pays off the balance of $114, we would be we'd be inclined to dismiss the case.
Sir?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. When do you think you can get this paid?
Well, probably in the next couple months. I did have an unexpected medical test that wasn't covered by insurance, so that's what got me backed up. but my previous balance was paid off through, I think, SOS Community Services.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so you've already used Hawk and got that paid off. And so now you're in a situation, are you currently working or?
I'm on disability, fixed income.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this, your monthly rent going forward,
Uh-huh.
are you going to be able to get that covered or?
Yeah, I have been able to pay, I think I don't know if it's 2 or 3 months. I have been paying, but there was a, I guess paperwork snafu between the landlord and RPI management, who hold my Section 8. And
Gotcha.
yeah, it took a while to get that completed. So
Okay. So what's your monthly portion, sir? $279?
yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. With the circumstances that you're in, you've got to get this back balance paid, but it sounds like to me you're going to be trying to pay that in addition to what your monthly rent is.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. So what I'm going to adjourn this out to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, sir. Okay.
Okay.
But in the interim, why don't you contact management or the attorney's office and see what type of, if you can just cover this in the next, like you said, 2 months. Sounds like in your mind, you kind of worked it out as to how you can get this cleared.
Yes.
See if you can work that out. They can do a conditional order dismissal and be done with it. Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Haverhill and Clark versus Myra South.
Good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
She's here. Oh, did she disappear?
Hi.
There she is.
I'm here. Hi, Your Honor. Good morning.
Hello, Miss South. How are you?
Whew, I've been better. Not
Okay.
great, but I'm here.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim? Let's see where we are.
Yes, Judge. I'm showing rent to retain in the amount of $5,995.78. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount in the amount of $6,165.78. I do need to note for the record, Your Honor, that it has just come to my attention that there are some damage charges that might be assessed before the next hearing date for some damages caused by the defendant's, I believe it's the defendant's son. I just wanted her to be aware of that because this number that I am stating on the record is likely to change at the next hearing.
Okay. All right, Miss South. What happened? When do you think you can try to get this paid? I mean, what do you have in mind?
So, Your Honor, this has been a long process. It originated when I lost my job back in November. Long story short, I've been working recently with Friends Indeed, the Disability Network, and who else? And then, so I applied for help through, it's called Men's and Women's Working for a Change, as well as Ypsilanti Thrift Store, to see if they can help because Hawk would not pay or would not help until the balance is under or 3,000 and under. I've been making monthly payments of about $2,000. So I mean, I still plan on paying my payments every month. I make a payment of the rent itself by the 5th, and then I make an additional payment of $350 on the 25th. So it's just been a work in process. I just got another job. I'm going through that. I'm waiting on my fingerprints and everything to be sent off because for my massage
license. So I'm
right.
praying that I'll get my job within the next
Okay.
month.
South or south?
Yes.
I got you, and I realize I asked an open-ended question. All right, do me
I
a
know.
favor.
And I will keep going. I'm stressed.
I
You're
know,
gonna
it's okay.
You're gonna hear it all.
I was hearing everything you said. Just take a breath, okay? It sounds like you're trying to get yourself through this. It sounds like there may be some other charges coming. We'll deal with that, but let's figure out how we can try to at least try to see a way to get you to ground zero if we can. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So the first thing is in the packet, there is a rental assistance form.
Yes, sir.
You need to fill that out, get that to the court by this Wednesday upcoming. All right. With that information. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to adjourn it out to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing.
Yes, sir.
So now, by that point in time, you said you pay what, $2,000 or what's your rent on the 5th?
So I pay my actual rent by the 5th, and then I pay an addition of $350 every 25th. So by
Okay.
that time, I'm gonna pay my payment tomorrow, and then I'll have Meg's rent paid by the 5th. So it will be done by
Okay.
by the time
I
I
got
see you.
You're
So
on
let
my-
me just
if I may,
go ahead.
I think she's referring to a previous conditional dismissal. So she has to understand that conditional dismissal, although we did not file, I believe we are under new management. We have a new property manager. So the previous property manager did not keep up with all of those. So we weren't able to reinstate the case. So we had to file a new case instead. So the previous agreement pursuant to the conditional dismissal has now expired. And so now we are in court for this new balance. So whatever payment arrangement she had before, we obviously, whatever agreement we enter into is going to be the new agreement. So she can still continue to pay additionally.
Yes.
If she needs to, just to pay down the balance.
Yes. Yes.
But that payment arrangement no longer applies.
Okay.
Okay, because
you.
that's passed. Okay. So Ms. South, you're going to pay $350 on.
I plan on doing it tomorrow. Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to mark my file that you're going to pay that on the 25th. And then by May 5th, you're going to pay what, your $1,700 or about $1,800?
Yes, sir. 1712.
All right. All right. So May 5th, you're going to pay $1,712. All right. Let me ask you this. Did Hawk take your application?
No, they pretty much halted. They said I have to get either a promissory note or I have to pay that balance down, pay the $2,800 down before they assist. So yeah.
Okay. I got you. So they want some agreement that you reached with the landlord or something that
Or yes. Or
that
by
would allow the amount in excess of the $3,000 to be paid in some fashion.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Or I have to
So
have the
why
help
don't
from I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. So
I was just
if you can talk with your management and see if they're willing to do that. I realize you've had a previous conditional order dismissal, but at least the worst they can say is no to you, right?
right.
And then we're back in the same boat. So reach out, see if you can work something out along those lines. That way, at least maybe $3,000 can come in, and then you can figure out how to get this other part down. Okay.
Yes, sir. And I'm trying, and I mean, I'm doing, but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right. It's okay. I realize you're trying. Sometimes we try and we look up and we think we haven't gotten anywhere, but you're at least trying to keep yourself from going further in the hole. And that sometimes that's part of the process additionally. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Jerome Taylor.
Yes, good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
All right. And there's Mr. Taylor. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I think I'm okay. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, we are showing rent to retain in the amount of $2,770, attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170, for a total of $2,940.
All right. And so he is directly under 3,000. I have a note. He had an appointment with Hawk on April 21st. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
And they're waiting on documents from the tenant and the leasing office. And so they would go ahead, sir.
I submitted all the documents I needed for Hawk.
Okay.
And same with DHS. So I'm just waiting back to hear from them.
Okay, so you also have a DHS. All right. So how many people are in your unit?
Just me.
Okay, so that's about 410 of this amount. How much your monthly rent is around 1310? Is that right?
1335.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I need you to fill out in your packet the rental assistance form. Put what agencies and other things that you're applying to on that form. Get that to the court by next Wednesday. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is, so here's what's going to happen. By the time you come back before me, the balance is going to be over the 3,000 cap for Hawk. Okay, so my question to you is, between now and say the 7th of May, what can you pay?
Between now and the 7th, I can pay at least $400 on the rearage. And with the May rent coming up, I wouldn't be able to pay that in full until after the 12th with the current income status.
All right. So I get how you did your math. All right. Oh my goodness. Everybody, I have to stop for a moment because waving at me in the screen is Judge Slay. The famous Judge Slay is there, the FOC. Hello, Judge Slay.
Hi, Judge. How you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. I heard your voice as I was walking by, and so I had to stop and say hi.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing that. And I will say, Ms. Mazur is with you, and I'll just take a moment. The setup of the friend of the court being in our landlord-tenant hearings was your idea. It is working out fantastically for everybody, and you deserve all the credit in the world for making that happen because it's helped us with a number of cases. So,
Sarah, it's fantastic. Thanks for letting us be a part of your docket. And as Hannibal Smith would say, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yes, indeed. I'm still trying to get Miss Mazur as a Maryland terrapin to take down that Michigan thing in the back, but she won't do it.
Just hold her in contempt.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Sorry
you.
to interrupt.
Not a problem. Take care. All right. So, sir, here's what's going to happen. I get what your math was.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be looking at the sort of full number. So if that makes any sense to you. So what I've got right now is you're at about $2,940. Your monthly rent, you said it was $1,335 or something?
Yes.
All right. So $1,335. And so when I do my math, if I'm doing it correctly, I'm looking at coming into May, a total amount of about $4,275. Got that? And I'm not including any late fees that might kick in. I'm just looking at that number. And in order for Hawk to pay, which is going to be the big balance, I've got to get this number back to the $3,000 range.
Right.
You okay? So if you're going to pay $400, and then that you'll pay that by when, sir?
I can pay that by the 30th.
All right. So pay that $400 by the 30th. And then you said by the 12th, how much do you think you can pay?
The 12th, I can pay the full 1335 for May.
Okay. All right. I
As
got
long
you.
as the rearage gets taken care of, I should be okay going forward.
So Your Honor, may I
Right.
suggest that he just pays May's rent so we can keep the arrears below that?
Right. That's
But
what
I
I'm
want-
trying to make sure that happens, but he won't have that until the 12th.
Correct. And then late fees, I know they will tack on by then. So
I got you. I get it. I'm not great at math, but I think I got it worked out in my head, kind of. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll adjourn you out until the 8th. Let's make sure that 400 goes in. All right. And also that to see, I think if you got your documents in, then they're going to be waiting on documents from the landlord. Let's see where Hawk is at that point, and then see what we can arrange to try to get you all caught up. Okay.
My client,
So
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
my client does indicate that I did ask if she has been in communication with Hawk for a request of documents, and she indicates that to her knowledge, she has not received anything from Hawk. So I would just ask that the defendant just maybe communicate to Hawk that our management is not aware of any documents requested, because if that's going to be the delay, I would rather just get ahead of it beforehand.
Yeah, no, I got you. And so we'll do that. And then Anne, because since we don't have a person here, which I'll say again is just a travesty, but can you send an email maybe to Amy or somebody just indicating that the landlord is indicating they haven't heard anything? So this note they sent us doesn't do me any good if the landlord doesn't know.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So do that, Mr. Taylor. And then what'll happen is we'll see you on the 8th. We'll see exactly where we are, and hopefully we can get this all taken care of somehow. All right.
all righty. Thank you.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Lewis Wall.
Bonnie Haddad for the plaintiff.
Okay.
How you
Yes, he
doing?
is. Okay, Mr. Wall. Oh, there you are. All right. How are you, sir?
Good.
All right. All right. What is the amount owed?
I am showing rent to retain in the amount of $3,925, attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170, for a total of $4,095.
All right. All right. Mr. Wall, how are you intending on getting that paid?
One thing I want to address is my paper says 2,500.
Okay, so I bet you're looking at the complaint and right, your complaint was at 2,500, but when you go down to the bottom, that's through March.
Okay.
So your April rent has kicked in.
Okay. All right. I could,
Okay.
I could,
All right.
to ask about if I could approach those, same services like the emergency fund and see if they can assist, and the other SOS fund.
Right. Okay. Have you applied through DHS yet or no?
No, I reached out to another one, the shelter service, and I think they were just telling me that, at that time I didn't qualify because it was I explained about my medical bills that were backed up and said it was something else, you couldn't use that for their service.
Okay. So have you called Hawk yet?
Yes, that was what was about medical bills that didn't apply or wouldn't help out or whatever.
Okay. So they're saying they can't help you?
Yes. Well, they couldn't go any further when we started talking. When they have they asked me a couple quick questions and said they couldn't go any further.
Because of medical bills?
Well, I was explaining my whole situation, how I got into it, but then they looked at, I just didn't qualify with information.
All right, let me ask you this. Are you working right now or
Yes.
have any source? You are?
Yes.
Well, I don't. All right. I hear what you're saying. That doesn't make much sense to me, but.
Well, if I can go into it just for a minute, is that they were taking a large amount of medical expenses out of my check, and that's what slowed down my receiving. And I can show that statement, and that's what I was trying to explain to them, but they said it didn't hold any merit to assist in that area.
So were they saying that really that you wouldn't be able to afford the apartment if they're taking this out?
Yeah, because it was at that time.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this, because this doesn't.
And I can show the documentation too.
No, I got you. So you haven't applied yet through DHS?
No.
All right. I want you to do that, okay? Do that right away. It may not be much. How many people are in your apartment? Just you?
Yes.
All right. So but that's still 400 we can maybe get. And then you've applied through SOS. I'm a little bit concerned if they're saying that because somebody's deducting something from your check, that all of a sudden creates a problem. But I mean, I get it on one side. All right. So, did they give you any other agencies or places to apply, like MAP or anything like that?
No, I think they might have did the same when the DHS was on, when I think they said that day. There was no other ones that I knew about.
Because there's another program. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to call Hawk back, and without going into great detail on it, the other program has a higher income threshold, but their sustainability also, I think, is affected by that. So call back and ask Hawk, are there any other programs you can apply to?
Okay.
Okay. And then between now and the 8th, is there any amount that you can pay over to the landlord?
Yes. Between 9 and 8th, I can pay 15.
You can pay 1,500?
Yes.
But okay, so if I put you can pay 1,500 by the 7th.
Yes. Before the 7th.
Okay. So get that paid to the landlord.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If at worst, if you do that, we'll click away at that balance.
Okay.
And then if we can find something else, maybe Hawk could click in. I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Or try to anyway.
And then I do have all the supporting medical documents if anyone needs to see how they started.
I'm sorry?
I do have the supporting documents to show how the check got affected and when it got hit.
No, I got you.
Okay.
I believe you. But let's see what we can try to work out. So I'm going to adjourn this to the 8th of May, 2026 at 1 p.m. Okay, that's an in-person hearing, and I know you know where we are because you're in our access point. All right, so you just come down to the courtroom the next time.
Okay.
All right, and we'll see where we are, but make sure to get that 1,500 in, so then we can see where we can go from there. Fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough. 2 quick questions. What was the amount that you gave out at the bottom? Was it for what?
It was $4,095.
$4,095. Okay, all right. And also, does anybody know anybody who's hiring? Anybody? Anybody?
Well, you know what? I appreciate you asking. I'd love to have a job service here, but I don't.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Wall. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You take care.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Hey, somebody might have said yes. I got to give him.
I mean, I give him credit. It takes courage to ask that question.
It does
under these circumstances.
All right. Haverhill on Clark versus Morgan Ivory.
Yes, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
Gotcha.
Morgan Ivory, they have not checked in. You may proceed. You've previously been sworn.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Plaintiff moves for a default judgment for possession. Rent to retain is $6,435. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $6,605 due and owing through the end of this month. We are seeking a writ date of 5/4/2026. No money judgment is entered. To my knowledge, the defendant is not a minor, incapacitated, or in the military.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days.
I'm sorry, may I interrupt 1 second? I'm so sorry.
Yes, please do.
I think maybe something got missed in the emails. That case was supposed to have been dismissed. I apologize.
Morgan Ivory?
Yes.
Oh,
That is,
even better. Okay, thank you. All right. So I will
we will submit a dismissal.
scratch this out. Case is dismissed without prejudice. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Haverhill on Clark versus Rico Crawford
Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
and Shanice Tripp.
Morning.
Oh, good morning, Tripp. How are you?
I'm well. How are you this morning?
I think I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Nobody ever cares about the judge, but that's okay. All
Okay.
right. All right. What is plaintiff's claim?
We are seeking rent to retain in the amount of $5,441, attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total of $5,611. That's $5,611.
All right. All right. Ms. Tripp,
Yeah.
how are you intending on getting that paid?
Okay. So I filled out the SCR. So that was on the 22nd. I'm waiting back for that. And I contacted Hawk. So, I have to have the balance down to like 3,000. So, and I have Friends Indeed also. So I'm waiting on all three of those, things to see what Friends Indeed want to do or if SCR will help. But then I will also have 1,800 by the 3rd of May.
All right. Okay. So you'll have 1,800 by the 3rd.
Yes.
And your monthly rent is about $850. So that's great because that'll maybe take away 1,000 effectively on that amount, and then we got to figure out the rest of that. Okay, with the SER, how many people are in your unit?
4.
4. Okay, what, you and 4 kids? Is that?
It's me and 3 kids. Well, 2 adults. I'm sorry, 2 adults because he's 20. I'm sorry.
Right.
He's
I was gonna
20.
say,
He's 20.
Yeah,
2
no,
adults and 2
I'm not
children.
good at math, but that didn't
My
work.
son. So it's 2 adults and 2 children. I'm sorry.
2. Okay, so 4 people.
Yes, sir.
All right. But I may make an order that she's got to go home and count the people because I don't think she knows.
See, I'm at work. I'm on 16 hours. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're good. Okay, so just so you know, the max award that DHS will give you about $740. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the first thing on that.
Okay.
And then, so that's the maximum amount. You got to get with Hawk. You got to get under 3,000, and then you have to see what Friends Indeed may do.
Yes.
Okay. So you contacted Hawk. Did they give you an appointment day?
No, she took all my information. She talked to me and my son, and she just said because of the balance, if I could get that 2,000 paid, then she said that they will be able to give me an appointment to help because their cap is 3,000. So that's why I contacted Friends Indeed. But if they can't help me, I'll have 1,800. So
no, I got you, but
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense with what they're telling me because they're supposed to give you an appointment regardless. But okay, so do this because I don't know what I'm gonna have to start yelling at some people, and I really don't want to.
Okay.
All right. Well, because it's confusing for you, confusing for me and the landlord because they're telling us one thing and then they're not doing that for people. And it's okay if I'm not going to give you an appointment, but just tell me that's not what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And then I could deal with that. But let's do this. Get the 1,800 paid by the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
See exactly then where the figure is. We ought to be about 1,000 down from where we are now, not including late fees that click in. There's a form that came in your packet called a rental assistance form.
Yes.
Fill that out. Put your SER tracking number on there and that you contacted Hawk and you're waiting on Friends Indeed. Just put that on the form. Submit that to the court by Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And then I'll adjourn this out to the 8th of May, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, so somebody will need to
Okay.
be here.
1
Okay?
p.m. I'll be there.
Okay, and then we'll figure out exactly where we're gonna go from here. At least by that
Okay.
point, we'll have the numbers stagnant and figure out how maybe we can get to that $3,000 cap. All
Okay.
right?
Thank you so much.
And you're welcome. And on that other email that you're sending, can you just add on there that the court's understanding is that appointments would be set regardless of where they were, that they would at least be an appointment after the initial screening, particularly where there's a representation that she may be able to get under the 3,000. That makes sense? Okay. I just want clarification from them because I think you're just telling people stuff. All right.
Just as a side note, Your Honor, this case was filed in the name of Rico Crawford as well. So in the event that we are going to facilitate some type of a resolution document, Rico Crawford needs to be present in order to sign off, and Ms. Tripp cannot sign off on his behalf to any resolution document. And I just don't want him to be adversely affected. I'm going to assume that he's your 20-year-old son.
Yes. Yes. He's in school, so that's why he couldn't come today.
Okay.
But I understand.
He's in school?
Yes.
Is that what he told you? Or you know that?
He better not be lying. I don't need nothing extra. He better not be lying.
I got one of those. I don't know if he's in class, but I get you. All right.
I'm about to check his location.
Oh boy. I didn't want to get him in trouble. I'm going to blame it on counsel.
I'm gonna tell him.
The reason you're checking is because of something she said.
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
gonna definitely tell
That's
him
okay.
that.
That's okay. We're the bad guy anyway, so.
No.
All right. All right. Thank you, Ms. Tripp. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
And then I have Haverhill on Clark versus Hitchings, Haverhill on Clark versus Taylor. Those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Yes.
And
Thank
I
you, Judge.
think that may be it for you.
Oh, well, it's been a good morning. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, it has. All right.
Thank you. We appreciate you as always. Have a good one, everyone.
All right. Take care. We'll send that form over to you.
She already did actually, so I'm not going to make any comments as to how easy it is to us. I mean, I'm thinking there's like a chart, just like for the what was it, the COVID relief.
Oh no, it's nothing like that.
Yes, no, this is a little less simpler, but yes,
this is just really simple.
We'll go with Judge Simpson is brilliant. That works.
Pardon me.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Oh, this might be a defendant.
Ma'am, you're trying to get our attention.
Hi, yes, pardon me. I just want to say, please excuse my tardiness. I had a time at 8:30 today, and I was wondering if I could get a
What's your name?
My name is J.L. Brewer.
That was one of the defaults, yeah.
That was a default. And do I have the file?
It is.
It's Mr. Dodd's case, yes. Hang on one moment. We're going to have to.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Your Honor, I do not have the file.
We don't have the file. All right. So here's what I'll do without the file. I have a note. This was the one I had a note from. Did you get in employee verification or employer verification information over to Hawk?
I filled it out, but my manager, it didn't get there in time. So I have the papers, everything filled out with the number, email, and verification. It just didn't get there on the specific day.
Okay. So you have it?
Yes, I have it. Mm-hmm.
Have you sent it over?
I was gonna take it up there actually.
To SOS or to Hawk?
To DHS because, well, actually, I'm sorry. I applied for two. I applied for DHS and Hawk. Hawk, I talked to Miss Alicia yesterday, and she sent over the verification, but she needed his email. So I sent over the email yesterday. And she, so that was yesterday. So we were trying to get it done before today, but it didn't happen that way.
Okay, it's okay. I'm just trying to make sure. The last note I have is that they were waiting on employer verification to determine your eligibility.
Yes. So
Has that now gotten that information that you were to provide, or that's gotten to
yes.
SOS?
Yes. Since as of
All
yesterday.
right. And then DHS you've also applied to.
Yes, I applied to DHS as well. They said because they needed verification, but I did the verification didn't get there in time, so I have to reapply. So I was going to reapply to see whatever they can get.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
So Judge, I'm just going to make this easier for everyone. The plaintiff withdraws their motion or their default judgment for possession and will accept an adjournment for 5/8 at 1 o'clock so that she can get the documentation.
That's what I was gonna vacate the judgment I entered in any event. And so, ma'am, I'm going to adjourn your case over to May 8th,
Okay.
2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding.
Okay.
I'll need you to look in your rental packet, or the summons packet that you have. There's a rental assistance form in there. I need you to fill that out with information on your DHHS application, as well as your Hawk information. Fill that out, put that on there, and file that with the court by next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see you then.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you'll take care of the file. All right. All right. I think finally that's it, Mr. Dodd.
I believe so. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Take care.
You do the same.
Tracy Group, LLC versus Megan Davison.
Here I am, Judge. Give me just a second.
Doctor,
Woohoo.
email in the file.
Your Honor, there was an email sent this morning, and I assume you're looking at it right now.
I am. Yeah, okay. All right, I understand it, but I'm presuming you're wishing to proceed with the default.
I am, Judge. With this,
All right,
this matter,
raise your right hand.
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? I was going to say other right hand, but you got it. All right.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
I'm familiar with, I am Dan Shemke. I am attorney for the Tracy Group. I am familiar with their books and records. And as of today's date, the current amount of rent due is $17,600. There's an additional $275 worth of late fees on top of that for a total due and owing of $17,875. I am not, and my client is not concerned with service fees or court costs at this point. We think it highly unlikely that we're ever going to get paid. And for that reason, we'd like to proceed based on the balance due and owing of $17,875.
Well, except for the fact, counsel, there's a money judgment. Oh boy. Okay.
Judge,
here's what I'm going to have to do. Hold it. They're going to get the adjournment in any event because you've got to correct something. I'm going to adjourn it to my next date, which is May 8, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. I'll consider this the first hearing. Counsel, you've got to correct the complaint. I've got a notice to quit, which is a non-payment notice to quit. I have a complaint, which is a termination. They don't match.
I get it, Judge. I get it. And one day.
But the good thing is you can amend the complaint. So rather than having to start all the way over, you can amend the complaint to a non-payment of rent complaint, and then we can proceed on the 8th.
Do I have to file anything other than the non-payment of rent complaint as an amended complaint?
No, you just you can file the non-payment of rent complaint, just indicating at the top that it's an amended complaint, and then effectuate service somehow. So then,
All right.
all right.
I will do, Your Honor. Thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. You take care.
Take care, Judge. See you next time.
Yes, sir. NKSK Properties LLC versus Ashley Peterson and Asia Riggs and Asia Thunderberg.
I do.
I'm sorry. I'm Ashley Peters. My name's Brian Riggs here and Asia Jean Thunderbird, and they are not present
Okay, but you're here.
because the landlord
Okay.
said to speak to me. Yeah, I'm here. I'm currently at work. I'm sorry.
No,
My name is
you're
Ashley
okay.
Peterson. I'm doing okay. How are you, Judge Simpson?
I'm doing great. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Can you
All
still
right.
hear me?
And-
Because I've been getting lost connection this whole time.
no, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Who's here for NKSK Properties?
Good morning, Anna. Majid Kahala.
Okay. So are you an attorney, sir?
No, I'm the landlord.
Okay. Here's what has to happen. The owner of the premises is actually a corporation, so you have to be represented by an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We did not know
So
that.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn. I'm going to indicate that plaintiff needs an attorney. Okay. I'll adjourn this out for 2 weeks. I'm going to adjourn it out to May 8th
Okay.
at 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding for both of you. All right.
Okay.
Make sure, sir, you get an attorney because I can't let you proceed without one.
All right.
And
sounds
then,
good.
ma'am, you'll need to be there on the 8th at 1 o'clock. All right, folks?
No problem.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Simpson.
All right.
Your Honor, counsel was not present on the last one, but both parties.
Lori Anderson versus Arati Lyman.
Hi there.
All right. I have the parties. I do not have counsel. Ms. Anderson, do you know where your attorney is?
I don't have counsel on this one.
Oh, I think you do. Oh,
This is not
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I don't know where they're getting this attorney on this. I don't see an attorney either. All right. What's your claim in this case?
Yes, sir. We had an inspection set for April 6th for the township for the certificate of compliance, and they had to cancel because we couldn't get access to the property. So I'm requesting that we were able to get access to be able to fix.
That's not a health hazard.
I don't know how I can make it a rental without getting the certificate of compliance.
Ma'am, you filed a health hazard complaint.
Well, I need access, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Because we can't get the certificate of compliance.
Well, it's not. I'm going to suggest you get an attorney. Ms. Lyman, I don't need an answer from you at this point.
Judge, can I also say one more thing? I also had a 7-day notice for non-payment of rent for April, and the clerk told me to combine it with this one. I talked to.
I don't know what they told you. I don't have.
Robin told me this is also.
I have a health hazard complaint. My clerks are not there to give legal advice to you as to how you should proceed on this. You filed a health hazard. So I don't know what you're talking about in terms of a non-payment, combining it. The complaint that I have on the case is doing a house hazard complaint. Yes, I have a house hazard complaint that's not filled out. I don't. Ms. Anderson, the only thing I'm going to tell you is I'm going to give you 2 weeks to get all of this corrected and or dismiss it. You got to figure that out. My clerks are not there to give you legal advice. You have to do that. You have had attorneys in the other cases. I suggest that you get one in this one. I'm going to adjourn this out May 8th, 2026, 1 p.m. Thank you. That's an in-person hearing. Thank you. Set. Finish that clock. Okay, I'm done. Court's going to stand in recess. We'll come back and start to 10 o'clock as soon as we get everybody lined up.
Judge, what time is it? It is 10:06.
Contract forfeiture, so it's not.
Turn this matter out May 8th, 2026, 1 p.m. That's my next date. And then we'll see where we go from there. Sir, that is an in-person hearing.
Okay, May 8th at 1 o'clock p.m.
Is it 1?
Yes.
At 1 o'clock, yes.
Okay. And then just confirm the location. I believe it's off of Washington, but just to confirm that location for the
4133 Washington is the court address. We're right next to the sheriff's department.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Freeman. Austin, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Take care. Showcase Investments versus, is it Jorge Alanga?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jarrett Levine for the plaintiff. And we have a representative of Showcase with us as well.
Hello.
All right. And Berlanga, not present. This is a land contract forfeiture. I don't have, did you guys pay for a second mailing or no?
It's like we did personal service on April 12th.
Yes, I see. I actually see 2. 12th and the 25th. I don't know why my file's marked that way.
I was personally served on the 12th. And I don't know that you do a second mailing. It's not a landlord tenant case. It's land contract forfeiture, so it's not.
I understand that, counsel.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out. All right, I'll let you proceed. Who's going to give me the testimony?
Oh, Andrea Gotcher.
All right. Ma'am, raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you. Are you representative of the plaintiff in this case?
Yes.
In what capacity?
I am one of the owners.
You're one of the owners. Are you familiar with the books and records as they relate to the defendant, Jorge Berlanga?
Yes.
Is there a land contract between the parties?
Yes, there is.
Attached to the complaint? Was there a balloon payment that came due at the end of the year?
Yes, on December 31st, 2025.
And you did not receive that payment?
No.
At this time, according to your records, are you showing that the account is due, including unpaid interest, insurance, taxes, and the remaining principal balance to be $205,831.38?
Yes.
And we have costs of $175, Your Honor, for the cost of filing, serving, and the $75 statutory attorney fee.
There.
And with that, we're asking the court to enter a judgment of possession after land contract forfeiture for the total amount of $206,000 and $206,006.38. $206,006.38 would be the total judgment amount. And the proposed judgment would provide that less than 50% of the purchase price has been paid. So a 90-day redemption period would apply, allowing for an order of eviction to issue upon the expiration of 90 days, unless the defendant pays the total amount.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default.
Thank you.
For possession or forfeiture.
Thank you, Your Honor.
British in 90 days. I will sign the order when it is presented.
I'll submit it. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Place Tree Apartments versus Anthony Arman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of the plaintiff.
Arman, not checked in. This is a health hazard. If you'd like to proceed, you may raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Again, for the record, Your Honor, Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of the plaintiff. Excuse me, Your Honor, as the court indicated, this is an action for health hazard. And as indicated in the demand for possession, there are excessive amounts of fecal matter that have accumulated inside the unit, creating an environment for pestilence to occur, which is a hazard. Your Honor, additionally, this health hazard was issued within months of a previously issued health hazard that the tenant did take steps to correct, but it again fell back into another unsafe condition. Additionally, Your Honor, at least at the time that this notice was issued on March 26th, there was no electricity upon information of belief at the unit. Also, upon information of belief, Your Honor, defendant remains in possession of the unit. Pursuant to the complaint that was filed, Your Honor, we are requesting an immediate order of eviction.
Sure. Grant judgment to the plaintiff for possession by default. Writ would issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will submit a judgment with a writ date of today, and then we will get a writ submitted to the court.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Evergreen Apartments versus Marcalia Jennings.
Hi.
Your Honor, James Fink for the plaintiff.
Miss Jennings, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Including costs, $3,075.27, 307527.
All right. Miss Jennings, how are you going to get that? Miss Jennings?
I'm here.
Okay. How are you intending on getting that paid?
On May 1st, I'm going to pay $1,100. I get 3 checks in the month of May. I had lost my job, so that's the delay, but I just got a new job.
All right. So your intent is to get yourself caught up in May?
Yeah, there'll probably be a couple hundreds left by the end of May, probably about 500 left, but with my 3 checks in May, I should be able to get it down.
All right. Have you talked to the landlord about that?
Yes.
All right. And what did they say?
Well, she just said good luck in court because I know they don't do payment plans or anything. So, I talked to Sydney quite a bit, and I always tell her my game plans on what I plan on doing.
All right. So on May 1st, you're going to pay how much?
$1,100.
All right. I will adjourn this out to, because you're entitled to that by my next date. You may want to, did you contact Hawk or anyone to help you with this, ma'am?
No.
All right. I'm going to suggest that you do. And once you do, fill out the rental assistance form, submit it to the court. You should do that by Wednesday. So I'm going to suggest that you call them because they may be able to help you get yourself caught up. If you pay the $1,100, you're going to be right around the maximum amount they might be able to assist you with.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
It looks from the ledger like she gets 100% rental assistance starting May 1st. So she's only going to go up about 100, maybe 250 with late fees. So if she can get assistance, she can actually get this taken care of.
Got it. Okay. You got that, Ms. Jennings?
Yeah, if I get in touch with Hawk by May 1st, they might pay the balance.
Well, you should call them today.
Okay.
All right. Do you have the number?
Yes.
All right. I want you to call them today.
Okay.
All right. And you put the other one. Well, you may be able to get it all caught up anyway, but I'll put that you're going to pay the $1,100 by the 1st. You need to call Hawk right away. That'll be May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. That's in person. Okay, ma'am?
May 8th, 3 p.m. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Your Honor.
Evergreen Apartments versus Christopher Hesterly.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Hesterly? He's here.
Yeah, he was checked in.
He was checked in, but not. All right, I'll pass it. See if
Thank you.
come back. Evergreen versus, is it Nokashia? Is it Haralson? And Maurice Rutley.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Here.
Okay. And they're both here?
Ms. Harrelson.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there they are. They're both here.
We are both here.
All right. All right. What is the plaintiff's claim?
Including costs, $2,865.10.
All right. Folks, how are we intending on getting that paid?
Well, we both just started working again. I literally just started working on Tuesday. I plan on making my first payment on the 7th of next month because that's when my first check will be. And I plan on paying it all down. We have ran into a few problems while we've been there, but that hasn't been the problem of us paying. We just both had switched employment at an undesirable time.
Okay. So on the 7th, how much are you going to pay?
I would say we can pay at least $1,500 by the 7th, at least.
All right. Ma'am, is that all correct?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I've also been making like little small payments as well, and I've been talking to Hawk, and they gave me some resources to deal with too.
All right. Did you guys contact Hawk?
I did. The representative that I spoke to told me I was a little over with my job when it comes to the requirements that they have for the estimation. I'm sorry, I don't have my words correctly, but she just gave me a better source to call. She gave me some other people to call that can probably help us out. They also just told me to probably put like a small payment down because it was a little more beforehand, but I did pay $500 about a couple weeks ago, and I'll see if I can put a little more down next week to kind of bring that down as much as possible.
Okay. So next week you can pay some, and then by the 7th, is that the 1,500 number? Is that going to include what you're talking about, Ms. Harrelson?
I believe so.
Okay.
No, that shouldn't include it. I think it might take it out. I was trying to see if he was going to answer.
You were going to see if Rutley was going to answer?
Yeah, we was on this together.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to him. I'll talk
Okay.
to you. Okay,
Yes,
because he just started talking. I didn't know. I wanted to hear what you said. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. So your guys are gonna get at least 1,500 in by the 7th,
Yes, sir.
and then you're gonna contact the other resources, see where you are.
I'm actually going to try to still keep contacting the resources today. I'm at lunch at 12, so I want to keep contacting them by then and then still kind of work on it
See
by
where
next
you
week.
are.
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's what I'll do. I'll adjourn you guys out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. All right. Pay the $1,500. Your rent's going to click in at the 12. So we're only going to net about 3, maybe 2 or 3 off of that. But that'll still put you in the realm that if you get assistance, it can get you guys cleared. Sound good?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
It's okay. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Mr. Rudley. I'll hear from you. All right. Okay.
Can I put on a record that we are dealing with a pest problem there?
Okay.
Where like we've been dealing with it since we moved in, and there's been roaches there since we've moved in. They have sent pest control out, but it's still an ongoing problem.
All right. Have you contacted the landlord again about that?
Yes, we've got documentation that we've contacted them.
Well, when's the last time you contacted them?
She would know that because I typically have her contact them.
She left, I think.
I'm sorry about that.
She dropped off. Okay, well, Mr. Fink now knows. He'll let them know, and then we'll try to see where we are.
Okay.
When we get back on the 8th. All right, sir?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Glencoe Hills versus Angela Stoker.
Think for the plaintiff.
Angela Stoker. She is not here. If you'd like to proceed, raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, this is an action for non-payment of rent. Angela Stoker owes $455.88 in rent, costs of $171 for a total possession only judgment of $626.88. Requested default in that amount with a writ to issue if it is not paid or she doesn't move on or before May 4th.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glencoe Hills versus Jerome Adams.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Jerome Adams. They are not here. You may proceed, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Adams owes on a non-payment of rent case $3,074.69 in rent. The costs are $171 for a total possession only judgment of $3,245.69 with a writ to issue after May 4th.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ to issue 10 days.
Thank you.
Gulfside Lake 1 and 2 versus Bonnie Jacques and Brandon.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Hey, the Jacques usually show up. Okay. Hey, neither are present. You may proceed.
This is also a non-payment of rent case, Your Honor. These defendants owe $2,790.85 in rent. The costs are $214 for a total possession only judgment of $3,004.85.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days. Gulfside Lake 1 and 2 versus Alicia Sarr.
James Fink for the plaintiff. I see she's here.
Hello?
Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, sorry, my camera's not working.
No, it is.
Oh, it is? Oh, I can't see anything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we can see you. We saw your smile right away. That's how I knew it was you. Okay. All right. What is the plaintiff's claim?
$1,740.24. 1740.24.
All right. Ms. Czar? Did she drop?
Yes.
No, she's there.
No, she's still here. Okay. How are you intending on getting that paid?
So I'm paying down about 400 at least every week. So I plan on having it paid by the 16th, and then I did about 260 this morning.
Okay, so you paid 260 this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, when's the next time you can make a payment?
Tomorrow.
All right, and how much are you going to pay tomorrow?
At least 400.
Okay, so you're going to pay 400. That's by the 25th. All right. And then after that, do you know when your next payment's going to be?
Yeah, at least 500 at least every Saturday. So on the 2nd next.
Okay, so 500 on the 2nd. Okay, I'll stop there because that'll get me a little over what your monthly rent is. So at least we're staying even and we'll figure this out. I'll adjourn this out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. What I'm going to suggest you do is contact plaintiff's counsel's office and see if you can work out some conditional dismissal to get this paid off.
Okay. Counsel.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And just make sure to make those payments, okay? And then we'll see where we are on the 8th.
Thank you.
Have a blessed weekend, Miss Seth.
You too.
Gulfside Lake 1 and 2 versus, is it BK Diarra?
Yeah, Bakai Diarra.
Say it again.
Bakai Diarra.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it when I said it. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
How you doing, Judge?
I'm doing okay, sir. All right. And Mr. Fink, what is the claim in this case?
$2,959.30.
All right. Sir, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I'm gonna be getting assistance from Hawk and DHS. They helped me out last time, so I'm gonna be getting assistance from them.
Okay. Have you already applied?
Yeah. I already applied.
To which one? DHS?
Both of them.
All right. Did Hawk give you an appointment?
No, Hawk didn't give me an appointment.
When did you call him?
I called them yesterday.
Okay, because I don't have anything on the sheet they give me because I don't have a person here. We can't check.
Okay.
Nicely played.
What you say?
Nicely played, Your Honor.
You like that? All right. So, sir, here's what I'll do. In your rental packet, there's a sheet called a rental assistance form. You'll need to fill that out with the information regarding Hawk and DHS.
Okay.
I'm going to have to take you at your word that you contacted them and did whatever. I'll adjourn this out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. That's an in-person hearing.
Okay.
Between now and then, is there anything that you can pay? Because with your monthly rent, by the time we come back, it's going to kick you over the $3,000 cap.
So right now I'm currently unemployed, but I'm supposed to be getting employed soon, like maybe in the next 2 weeks or so. So yeah, that's just been the current situation. That's been going on.
And they're likely not going to do anything until you're employed because you've got to show some type of sustainability for this apartment.
Okay.
Fill out those forms, get them to the court by Wednesday, and we'll see you May 8th at 3.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes, sir.
I see Ms. Hicks is here and she's at the courthouse at the access point. Her case has been dismissed.
Oh, okay. All right. You hear that, Miss Hicks? Let me call it so that.
I don't even think you have it, Judge. Well,
No,
it's
I
in your
did.
dismissal stack.
Yeah. Glencoe Hills versus Ali Hicks. Miss Hicks? Oh, we can't hear you. Hold on the space bar on the computer. Okay, there you are. Hello, Ms. Hicks.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Your case is dismissed.
Oh, praise God. Oh my goodness. If I didn't have this cane, I would, oh my God. Oh, thank you, Father God. Okay. Yes, sir.
All right.
Ms. Hicks, I tried to send you a text from the phone number we had.
I'm sorry, my phone isn't on.
Okay, well, that's probably a good thing, but
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all set, Ms. Hicks. You have a great, blessed weekend, okay?
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful, awesome, blessed weekend also.
All right. Take care. All right. Gulfside Lake 3 versus Erica Hall.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Where? Okay. There you are. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I think I'm okay. All right. How much is Miss Hall owe?
$2,436.58.
Okay, how are we going to get this paid this time?
Well, I made a payment last night for $240, and I made one this morning for $135. And I'm waiting on my income tax to come back. But next week I can pay $500, and then it might be more than that. But me doing hair if I get more clients. But I can definitely get it taken care of.
Okay, so you're going to pay $500 by next week sometime?
Yeah. And possibly more, but I just want to say $500 to stay safe.
Okay, and your monthly rent, probably should know, is $11.79. All right. Well, somehow or another, you always come through it. I know you need the weekends and you can't exactly pin it. So I get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn you out to my next date, May 8th, 2026, 3 p.m. in person.
Okay.
Get as much in there, and then we'll see where we go from there. How about that?
All right.
All right. Take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
He's the bottom.
Yeah, going. Second.
That's it.
Gulfside Lake 3 versus Nathaniel Caldwell.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Oh, there he is. Mr. Caldwell. How are you, sir? You're muted.
Oh, there we go.
All right. And what is the claim in this case?
$1,894.22.
All right, Mr. Caldwell, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I'm gonna make a payment on the 29th. That's when my next paycheck hits. I do have I did talk to Hawk. They told me to call back on the 1st, and I did put in for SER too. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
All right. So Hawk told you to call back on the 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. And how much are you going to pay on the 29th?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at my check yet, but I'm going to try to pay at least $1,000 on it.
Okay.
Or more.
Or at least $1,000. Right. I understand. So you pay $1,000. Your monthly rent is about that plus a little more. No, your monthly rent is about right that. So if you get that paid, we're not going to be any worse off. Hawk, you got to call back on the 1st. You got an SER in. Okay, so sir, regarding the SER, in your packet that you received is a rental assistance form. You need to fill that out and get that to the court by this upcoming Wednesday. Okay.
Okay. Do I just bring it up there?
Yep, just bring it up there. Make sure it's all filled out, and they'll be more than happy to take it. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, and I'll adjourn this case out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m.
Okay.
In person. All right, Mr. Caldwell.
All righty.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too, sir.
Gulfside Lake versus Michelle Gobo.
James Sink for the plaintiff.
Hi, this is Michelle Goble.
And also Marilyn Goble. All right. Okay. What's the claim?
$2,129.94.
All right. Ms. Gobo, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Yeah, so I've been on a medical leave due to a flare-up in chronic conditions. So I've only gotten like 66% versus like 100% pay. So I'll make 500 next Wednesday, and I go back to work on the 1st. So I'll start getting like 100% starting that day again.
Okay, so you're paying 500 on the 29th.
Yes.
All right, then you're going to go back to work. And gotcha. Okay, your monthly rent is $1,227. So this figure is going to go up a little bit, but if you pay the 500, that'd be about $7. Have you talked to Hawk or SOS at all?
I have not, no. So hard.
All right. Here's what I want you to do, Ms. Goble.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you give them a call? Okay. To see if what they can do is sort of help you over the hump of this. And then it sounds to me like you'll be in good shape and you can proceed on and pay everything, right?
Yes.
That's where you're trying to get to.
Yes.
All right.
About mid-May,
Yeah.
I want to be caught up. So
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so let's try that. Do you have their number?
I do not know.
Okay, it's probably on some of your paperwork, but let me give it to you if you've got something to write with.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, it's 734-961-1999.
1999. Thank you. Awesome.
All right, you're welcome. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll adjourn your case out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in person.
3.
All right.
All
You
right.
do that and then check everything and then hopefully we can get you there. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're
Judge.
welcome. All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Then we have Gulfside Lakes versus, this is a recall, Bunny, Josh, and Brandon.
I'm
James
here.
Sink, but then Brandon showed up
I see
because I
that.
was a bit surprised he wasn't here.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. So I'm not going to enter the judgment. Mr. Jacques, the amount that you would owe is $3,004.85.
Correct.
All right. So how are you going to get that paid, sir?
I'm waiting on a payment from a client. I should have that sometime next week, which would allow me to settle most of that balance.
All right. So if you get this check, how much do you think you can pay?
At least $2,400.
Okay. So 2,400 by sometime next week. I'll put by the 30th, maybe.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. So we'll do that. You'll be a little bit short, and then we're coming into the next month, and your monthly rent is about 1,100. So we'll try to figure that out. So get the 24 paid. I'm going to adjourn your case out to May 8th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in person. Okay, sir?
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Then this is another recall, I think. We thought we had them. Evergreen Apartments versus Christopher Hesterly.
James Sink to the plaintiff.
They never signed back in, so you may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an action for non-payment of rent. The defendant owes $926.70 in rent. The costs are $172 for a total of $1,098.70. Possession only.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount, any amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. And I have Evergreen versus Omar Martinez, Evergreen versus Jasmine Ford, and Evergreen versus Tracy Coleman. Those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice. I think that's it, sir. All right. Good seeing you.
You also, sir. Have a great weekend.
You do the same. And that's it for us for the morning. Court stands in recess.
Jason Davis.
Jameson Davis.
Jason Davis.
Jason Davis. No, I haven't turned the record on. I will, so you can watch it. All right, Jason Davis. Let me give you a name. This is the first time that I've used this room. We did a little bit of practice yesterday.
Is there a problem?
I only used the courtroom for the first time on Tuesday, so this is all a learning process. We have a lot going on this morning. Anyway, let's start the case. Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Middleton. You're here on some landlord-tenant cases, and there may be some other distractions going on, but we'll do the best we can. Each of you tenants is here in a landlord-tenant matter, either termination of tenancy or a demand for non-payment of rent. In either case, you have rights as a tenant. You have the right to hire a lawyer. If you cannot pay for one, the court must give you information on how to, let me bring this dude in. Good morning, Mr. Walter. Would you join us, please? Mr. Alex Walter, could you turn your camera on and your microphone? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. You're here as a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, and as such, you have certain rights. You have the right to hire a lawyer. If you can't afford a lawyer, you can try to get some assistance from legal aid or seek other legal assistance.
Am I able to get court appointed? I'm sorry.
All right. We don't have court appointed counsel in civil cases. We do in criminal cases, but in a civil case, you have to hire a lawyer or see if legal aid would be willing to represent you. We'll get to your case here in a couple of minutes. You have the right to a trial by a judge or by a jury. We've never had a jury trial, I don't think, in history, but if you do wish to have a jury trial, you must tell me at this first court appearance, or be prepared to file the jury demand in writing within 5 days and pay the $50 jury demand fee unless the judge waives it for your inability to pay it. Second or third, you have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from your residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment and resource agency, which is Neighborhoods, Inc., or if you're a veteran, you may be eligible for some veterans assistance. We did send that information to you with the summons. You do not need a judgment against you to receive assistance from the places listed above, despite what the DHS might tell you. A copy of the summons and complaint are sufficient. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. If both parties are interested in that process, the court can set it up. Finally, you may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord that means the case would get dismissed through what's called a conditional order of dismissal. The Bradshaw law firm is preeminent in the use of those orders for a dismissal. That whole process began in Kalamazoo County. I think they were a part of it, but we have a couple of those today. Hopefully Meg Bauer will be joining us from legal aid, but let's start with our first case, which is Three Rivers Limited, which is Erie Street Apartments versus Aisha Hunter. You're right, Ashaya. Now let me. Ashaya Hunter. She is here in a room with me. She did bring some associates, family or friends, and they're just in the room to bring them in here. Here's somebody else coming in. Anyway, Miss Hunter, they want you to move. They filed what's called a request to terminate your tenancy for just cause. And they listed those reasons in your complaint. They allege material non-compliance and other things. Some has to do with people that are visiting you. To further complicate things, if you get evicted from a residential subsidized housing, and maybe make it difficult or impossible for you to get in somewhere else. Mr. Bradshaw, do you have any additional input on this?
It would not, without going into the facts in depth, Your Honor, what I would suggest is that I get some contact information for Ms. Hunter. And as you stated previously, we're always more than willing to enter into some sort of conditional dismissal agreement whereby Ms. Hunter would not have a judgment against her. But ma'am, if the court's more than likely gonna schedule this for another hearing, and in the meantime, I can contact you, and if you or any representative you might have, and maybe try to get this resolved without a judgment in some way. So if you give me your phone number maybe to start, that would be great.
All right, well, I don't want to do that on the live stream. So
oh, you don't? Okay. Can I give you mine, ma'am? I can give you mine.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give her your number and then she can contact you.
Let me give you my direct to my desk, Your Honor.
Right.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Bradshaw.
Yes, area code 269-569-7590. One more time, 269-569-7590.
All right, now, he's willing to speak with you to see if you can work out some resolution. I'm assuming at this point you don't wish to move, is that correct?
For now, yeah.
No, you wish to stay there. Who else lives there besides you?
Just me and my son.
Now, these are allegations. They haven't been proven. They've alleged these things and they're asking that you move. In order to actually complete it, you'd either have to agree to move or we'd have to have some sort of hearing to establish that these things occurred. I would strongly suggest that you contact legal aid. Have you done that yet?
Yes, sir.
She's normally here with us on the feed, but she may, I think, otherwise occupied this morning. But I would also recommend that you call legal aid and ask for Meg. You've got the number in your packet. Meg Bauer is her name. Now, the law says I have to adjourn this matter at least 7 days, which will take us to next Friday. We're done with vacations and holidays and that sort of thing for a while. So that would be Friday, May 1st at 2:30. Now, I'll give you this. I don't have a bailiff in here. I can't really get out of this chair. All right. Now, we're going to revisit this next Friday at 2:30. You need to call Mr. Bradshaw and discuss this with him. Let's say they say, all right, we agree if you move out by May 30th, that we will dismiss this case and there won't be any eviction that'll show on your record. That's something that you could negotiate with them. But let's say on the other hand, you don't wish to move, you wish to have a hearing. You can seek assistance from legal aid and they could take testimony on the reasons why they want you to move. And if they get what they ask for, you would have 10 days from that date to move out. And it would go on your record and probably make it very hard for you to get in subsidized housing again. Now, next Friday, you're welcome to come in live again. We're going to be in that big courtroom and your friends and family can all come in there. They can't come in this little room. So I'm recommending you call Mr. Bradshaw and you call legal aid. And you've got the number for legal aid in the packet of information that I sent you. And the matter is continued until next Friday at 2:30 in that big room down the hall.
Okay, so I'm thinking on what you have said. You said May 30th if I want to move.
Well, that was just a proposal. They may suggest something like that. They'll say, well, we'll give you to the end of the month. If they got what they asked for next week, you'd have till May 10th to move out or you'd be subject to being evicted, May 11th.
If it
But we aren't there.
If it pleases the court, Your Honor, I think at this time I have authority to state if Ms. Hunter wished to enter into a conditional dismissal to have this case dismissed upon the condition that she vacate by May 30th. I can do that right now if that's something she's interested in doing. Again, you would not have a judgment against you, and this we'd give you a neutral reference.
All right, so you can consider that. They would agree to give you until May 30th to vacate. If you vacate voluntarily, they'll dismiss the case. There won't be any negative reference for future housing, and this won't go on your record as an eviction.
Okay.
So we can discuss that. If you can agree to move by May 30th, the whole case could get dismissed.
I can do that.
All right, so you agree with that right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you agree that you will vacate by May 30th. They will dismiss these allegations in the complaint and the matter will be dismissed and won't show as a record of a termination. Now, you've just agreed without counsel to a settlement. I will tell you that you do have 3 days to move to set this settlement aside. If you get home and you decide you didn't understand what you agreed to or you felt pressure to do it, you have 3 business days, which will be next Wednesday, to tell me that you'd like to have further hearing on the matter. Mr. Bradshaw is going to prepare a conditional order of dismissal, and he is going to say this matter is dismissed if you vacate by May 30th. If you don't, they will then ask for a writ of eviction to have you removed. But if you do move, that case will be dismissed. Now, when you do move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving.
I prepared that already, Your Honor. I have it right here. I can submit to the court in a couple of minutes. Well, when we finish with the hearings this morning.
All right. I don't know the facts. They allege these things that they want you to move. This will save you from having an eviction on your record, and that's helpful. hopefully you can find someplace within the next 26 days, 36 days. But you'll get a copy of that in the mail. You don't need to call Mr. Bradshaw. He's going to send us a conditional order of dismissal. We'll send it to you. And as long as you're out by May 30th, turn in the keys, give your forwarding address in writing, case is over. All right, I'll send you that. You're good to go. And I'm sorry. Now, this is on YouTube. If you want to watch it, your friends or family want to see what happened, you can go on my YouTube channel and watch it.
Okay.
But it'll be on there for a few days, and it'll be taken down. But I'm sorry they couldn't come in this little bitty room, but you seem to know your own mind. You're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck.
That matter was scheduled for 5 minutes. Well, it didn't take 5 minutes, but we did resolve it.
Yep.
So we do have some cases coming up that have been dismissed that will help us get caught up.
Now, Jason, I see Jason Davis name and on the thing here, that is one that has been dismissed.
All right, let's talk to Jason Davis. I got 3 dismissals as I indicated. Mr. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bradshaw has submitted a conditional order of dismissal in file number 26444LT. And are you still there? Or have you vacated?
I moved out March 27th and I've got a 0 balance, so.
All right, that matter is dismissed and it's over and done with. Mr. Davis, you're good to go.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Who's that? Is it defendant?
Yeah.
All right, go out that way because you can unlock the door from the inside and bring her in. Here is my first 2 cases.
Okay, yeah, the Zoom room's just not working. It says there's no internet and.
All right, we also have a dismissal in Joseph Little, and I don't see Mr. Little. Good morning.
Right there, ma'am.
All right, we have Little and Baum. We're not to those yet. Good morning. Well, let's take up Vista Meadows. Let's take up some of this extra here. Fair's Limited versus Jessica Hicks. Ms. Hicks, can you hear me?
Yes.
I did go through the advice of rights with this defendant. This is a non-payment of rent case. Rent is alleged to be $756 per month. The arrearage at the time of filing was $1,521. What's the status here today, Mr. Bradshaw?
Your Honor, and Ms. Hicks, the current amount due through the month of April is $2,277 in rent. There's $183.79 in court costs. So the total due through April is $2,406.79. Just if it helps for reference, the last time I'm showing a payment was on January 12th of $756. I'm more than happy to do a conditional dismissal, giving you an opportunity to get that paid without a judgment against you.
I believe I paid February's rent. It was just, it's due on the 1st and I have until the 10th grace period, and I actually paid it on the 11th, the morning of the 11th.
How much do you pay, do you know?
Actually, I believe it was 8:55 because the property manager's been out due to some surgery or something. I'm not positive on what, but she's been out since like October of last year. So we have a fill in, and when I did my yearly reevaluation, recertification papers, they told me that my rent was $855, which I was like, what? So I believe I paid the $756, and unfortunately, actually, just a minute, I was gonna say, I don't have that paperwork with me. I have recently, today should be my final trip over to Three Rivers to get my last bit of things that are there. Because I'm moving to help my family member.
All right, so you're moving out?
Yeah, yes, I am moving out,
All right.
but I would like.
How much time will it take? Can you be out in the next 10 days?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be out today. I should have the rest of my belongings out today. Most of my stuff is out. I just have a bed and a couch.
All right, well, let's go with the end of April. How's that, Mr. Bradshaw?
That's great. I'm going to prepare this DC 508 stating that she will vacate the premises on or about 4/30/26. This is not a request for money, ma'am. It's a request for either pay the rent or vacate, and it sounds like you're vacating. So as long as you turn your keys in and let them know you're have vacated by April 30th, then the case will stay dismissed, if that makes sense.
When you say dismissed, will that show an eviction when they run my report?
No, it will not.
Okay.
All right, that's the benefit of a conditional order of dismissal. They will show that the case is dismissed. When you move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. Now, Mr. Bradshaw said this, but it may not have sunk in. They're not asking for money damages right now. They're asking you to move. This is called a possession judgment.
Okay.
If they do sue you for money damages, we will have another hearing, put people under oath. We'll try to figure out, did you pay February's rent or not? Was there a security deposit that should be applied to any unpaid rent or utilities for damage? And then we'll make a determination regarding money damages. This hearing is only regarding possession. So you've agreed to the entry of a conditional order of dismissal. You agree to vacate by April 30th, turn in your keys and give your forwarding address. Case will be dismissed. It won't show on your credit record and it won't show as an eviction. Now, you don't have a lawyer and you just made this agreement. And again, you have 3 business days to ask me to set this matter aside if you feel you didn't understand or you were pressured into this. That would be next Wednesday. And that's under 4.201. Anyway, this sounds like a good agreement. You're agreeing to move anyway. This will get the case dismissed. It won't reflect on your ability to get other housing. And if they are going to sue you for money damages, they can do that. Now, when you send your forwarding address in writing, that triggers the security deposit law. And they can, as I said, apply your security deposit to any unpaid rent or damages.
Okay. Real quick, was there if I paid in full, would there be an option for me to stay?
Yes.
I guess I was just under the impression that, no matter what, I was being evicted.
They're not terminating your tenancy like the first lady. They're just asking you to pay rent.
That would be, and that amount was the amount that I stated. The current amount.
Yeah, $2,406.79.
Right.
So do you think you want to try to stay there, or it sounds like you're already almost moved out?
I am almost moved out, and it's an upstairs apartment, and I'm not crazy about it. I'm not getting any younger. I love my apartment, but yeah.
I'll give you a tip. It doesn't get any easier.
I'm telling you, I'm learning the
I
hard
just
way.
they moved me to the third floor of the historic courthouse and I have 48 steps.
Oh my
I've committed-
goodness.
I've committed to take the stairs every day rather than use the elevator. I'm 70, but I'm not dead yet. So,
Right.
take the steps every time I go up and down. So yeah, it doesn't get any easier. All right, Ms. Hicks, he will send you this conditional order of dismissal and, you should be in good shape.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, now we have another phone number here and we also have a live person. What's your name?
Yvonne Bronstetter.
All right, Yvonne Bronstetter is here. She's the plaintiff. And we have Vista Meadows versus Mercer. Courtney Mercer is not present.
I know I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, are you the telephone number?
Yeah, I don't know how to do the video.
All right, let me give you a name. All right, so we've got Alex Walter. I'm going to remove Jessica Hicks. Here she goes. Courtney Mercer, and one landlord. So let's take a minute and advise Mr. Walther. I did advise him of his rights. He's on Miss Bronstetter's case, but we'll do Courtney Mercer first. Miss Mercer, you're a tenant and you're here in a landlord-tenant case where your landlord is asking to terminate asking you to pay the rent. Alleging that rent is behind, want you to pay the rent or move out. You have certain rights as a tenant. One of the rights you have is to hire a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, you could see if you could get legal aid to do representation in this matter or seek other legal advice. You have the right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located.
Okay.
You have the right to demand a jury trial. If you wish to have a jury trial, you must tell me at this first hearing or file a written demand within 5 days and be prepared to pay the $50 jury demand fee unless the judge waives it for your inability to pay it. We sent that other information. Now, if your landlord has asked you to be evicted from a residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a local coordinated entry agency, Housing Assessment and Resource Agency, that's Neighborhoods, Inc.
Yes, I did.
All right, just a minute. If you're a veteran, you may be eligible for veterans assistance. You do not need a judgment against you to get such assistance. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation, or you may be able to reach an agreement where we would agree upon a conditional order of dismissal. We've done that a couple of times already this morning. So first of all, let's see how much your landlord contends is due. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the rearage here?
Your Honor, I'm showing that through the month of April for rent, there's $1,279. The court costs are $199.45. So Ms. Mercer, I'm showing the total balance that's due through April, $1,478.45.
Now, as you started to say, have you requested assistance from DHS?
Yeah, that's what I was, yes, I did do that. It's still show, like I see the tracking number, but it's still under review. I'm guessing that's what that is. And I did reach out to Neighborhoods Inc. too. And I tried calling them, but they're not open today, I guess. I do have some of the money right now. I have $400 in my account that I was trying to get off at the ATM, but it wasn't working. And then I also get a check today, so I was going to pay a couple more $100.
All right, well, One of the things we need to do is we need to adjourn this matter at least 7 days, which will take us to next Friday. That will give DHS time to see whether they can provide emergency funding or neighborhood aid. You get an additional 10 days from that day to move or pay the rent. And that would give some time to get squared away. Now, you have to pay the entire amount or you'd still be subject to being evicted. So let's say DHS gives you $500. You have $400. That would still leave you about $500 short. Fortunately, this arrearage isn't too huge. It's $1,400. You may be able to get some assistance combined with the money you have and pay your rent through April and then be good to go after that. So Ms. Mercer, we're going to revisit this next Friday, May 1st at 2:30. Well, let's make it 1:45. Does that work for you, Mr. Bradshaw?
That's fine, Your Honor. And I'll just state also, ma'am, before your phone number disappeared there, I took it down and I will contact you after this hearing or sometime today, just to kind of make contact and let you know about conditional dismissals and things like that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Very good. Ms. Mercer, do you have any further questions?
No, I just, so it's next Friday at 1:45,
Next
correct?
Friday at 1:45.
Okay, all right, I got it wrote down.
Okay.
I think that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Walther, as in Mr. Bronstedter's, 9:20, we have a Quail Run case versus Hirschberger. Is that one of the ones that was dismissed?
No, that one's still going. I have two more, Hirschberger and Sturgis Place versus James and Vicky Barfield.
Now,
that one's
just
9:45.
we're in a quite disarray here. Well, that's not good. We don't have enough bailiffs to go around. And Laura, would you call the hall for Braden Harshberger and see if Braden Harshberger is out there in the lobby somewhere? Braden Harshberger. The security number is busy. I can't reach security from here. Not ideal. This is also a non-payment of rent case. It was served by attachment. So, all right. I'm not here. All right, so we're gonna, what is the current arrearage?
Yes, Your Honor, the current amount due for rent through the month of April is $2,614. There's $199.45 in court costs, so the total due through the month of April, $2,813.45.
I'm gonna continue this to 150 on May 1. We do have a second mailing though. Do you wish to do a default?
Yes, I was just looking through that myself, and as long as the second meeting was done, in Your Honor, I would move for default judgment. And I can state on the record that the total amount of rent through April is $2,614. There's $199.45 in court costs for a total of $2,813.45. to the best of my knowledge, Mr. Harshberger is not in the active military, incompetent, or have been a judge incompetent, or a minor. And I can also state that the property has been kept fit for the particular purpose of rental property. We did not ask for a money judgment.
All right, if you send me a default in that matter, we will.
The other one's not till 9:45.
Take the next one.
Okay.
This is some. I'm gonna go overall view, which is a little screwy. All right, this isn't what I want it to be. Because all I can see is the defendant, but we'll leave it there for now. The title of this case is Yvonne Bronstetter versus Alex Walther, Elizabeth Close, and Angela Ostamo Close. Mr. Walther, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. I don't like this at all. Is Elizabeth Close or Angela Ostamo Close with you?
No, they've already moved out. They've been moved out since the first notice of just my grandma printing something out from her computer.
All right, so Yvonne is your grandmother?
Yes, but
Yes.
I didn't do it from the computer. I came right to the courthouse.
Angela Ostama actually didn't live with us. She was just always visiting.
That's not true.
It is true.
All right, stop. Stop. We're in a courtroom. All right, Mr. Walther, your grandmother wants you to move out of this house. There is no lease. She served a notice to quit on February the 10th and asked you to move. What's your position?
I'm already moved out.
All right, do you have any objection to her having immediate possession?
Yes, I do, because anything that's in the house, my mother actually lives at the residency. My mother is the one who lives there, and she says until I get myself onto my feet that I can take my possessions with me. But I don't actually have a place to stay right now. I'm in a hotel, so I could only pack so many things with myself. But I am out of the house right now. I've been
So
out
your grandmother
since,
has evicted
last
you, but not your mother?
Exactly.
I'm not sure you could do that, but
Well, I'm on a land lease with her. I own it and she's buying it. And
on a land
it's her
contract?
home. Pardon?
On a land contract?
Yes.
All right.
And I paid like $10,000.
Just a minute.
Sorry.
So what's the mother's name?
Lisa Van Sumeren, VanSumeren.
And she's buying the house on a land contract?
Yes.
And you're not seeking to evict her?
No.
You don't have authority to do this.
I don't.
No. The land contract holder is the person that possesses the house You can't sell a house on a land contract to somebody and then decide you don't like some of the people that live there and ask to evict them. You don't have the authority to do this. The land contract holder can seek an eviction, but you can't do that. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen this.
Well, I still own the house.
Well, everybody that's selling something on a land contract, I still has some ownership interest, but you don't have. Don't vape while we're here in a court proceeding, if you would, Mr. Walther.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry.
No, this matter is dismissed because you don't have the authority to bring it. You don't have standing because the land contract holder has standing.
Okay, well, I know she's in agreement.
Well, she can do it if she wishes to do it. She can move to terminate the tenancy.
Well, this is all due to his abuse of her and me, myself. So I haven't I've written a sheet out of how many times the police have been there.
Well, he's apparently moved out, so that's a start. But if she wishes to evict him, she can pursue it, but you don't have the authority to do it.
Now, if I take her back off the land contract, I would.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, if you go out to the counter, they'll give you a copy of this order.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Mr. Walter, you're good to go.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Boy, I do not like this at all. All right, you can go out the door and right across the hall, the clerk will come get this and give you a copy of the order. Mr. Walter will send you a copy saying that the matter is dismissed.
Thank you.
All right, now I've got James's phone. I'll move Mr. Walter. This is a rocky ride here. Our 920 case is Sturgis Place versus Baum and Martin, and I do have an order of dismissal on that case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Our 945 case is, what time is it? Almost 9:45. Is Sturgis Place versus Barfield, and then River Trail versus Little. And River Trail versus Little is a dismissal. Elaine, if you would come get that copy of that dismissal. So that leaves Sturgis Place Apartments versus Barfield. We have James's phone. We have a telephone number. Let's see who this is. Are you James Barfield?
I am Trina Weisel, the landlord at Fountain Estates. I was having a difficulty getting online on Zoom video, so I called in.
All right, you'll have to work on that, but I'll put that manager.
Thank you.
What's your first name?
My name is Trina.
All right, and are you James Barfield? I've got James' iPhone.
Are you speaking to me? I'm
No,
sorry.
you just stick, Mr. Barfield, would you unmute your microphone? Elaine, I need you to come get that order.
Did that do it?
Yes, it did. Good morning. Are you James Barfield?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me make some notes here. All right, Mr. Barfield, your landlord is asking you to pay the rent or move. The esteemed Mr. John Bradshaw is here with us. And let's see who else we've got here. iPhone.
Well, that would probably, oh, that's a different person, so.
Good morning, Mr. iPhone. What's your name?
Joseph Little.
And why is he in our?
Mr. Little, your case has been dismissed.
Dismissed?
Yes. Did you move?
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't aware. I left.
Yes, the case has been dismissed, and you're free to go on about your business. This is the one she needs a copy of, downstairs.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're good to go. Your case is dismissed, and you don't need to do any further action here today. Apparently, you've already vacated the premises. If they are going to sue you for money, there'll be a subsequent hearing regarding that, and we'll give you notice.
Okay, thank you. I apologize.
No need to apologize.
All right, have a good one.
All right, we're having an average one, maybe even below average. Let's talk to Mr. James Barfield. Mr. Barfield, you are a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding where your landlord is asking you to pay the rent or move. In such a case, you have certain legal rights, including the right to hire a lawyer. If you can't afford an attorney, we do not have court-appointed counsel in civil matters, but you could seek advice from legal aid or other legal services. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You have a right to demand a jury trial, and if you wish to have a jury trial, you must tell me here at this first appearance or make the demand in writing within 5 days and pay the $50 jury demand fee, unless the judge waives the fee for your inability to pay it. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from your residential property because you haven't paid rent, that's what this situation is, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment resource agency, that would be Neighborhoods, Inc., or if you're a veteran, you may be eligible for some veterans services. You may be able to reach an agreement outside of court by going through mediation. If both parties are interested, we can help set that up. Or you may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord that means the case would get dismissed by way of a conditional order of dismissal, and we can discuss that as we go forward here. You've got somebody there with you. Who's also with you?
That's Vicky.
Does Vicky live there also?
Yes.
Vicky, what's your last name?
Barfield.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the arrearage here?
Yes, Your Honor. The current amount due in rent through the month of April is $2,595.62. There's court cost of $268. So the total due through the month of April, Mr. and Mrs. Barfield, is $2,864.52. As the court mentioned, we could enter into a conditional dismissal allowing you to get this paid without your judgment, without a judgment entered against you.
All right, Mr. Barfield, what's your plan? Do you wish to try to stay there?
Oh, yes, sir.
Have you asked for any emergency help?
No, sir. I can pay it. I paid 1,500 yesterday. They may not have gotten that reported to them yet, but I paid 1,500 yesterday, and hopefully by the end of next week I will have a payment plan to submit to the plaintiff and resolve it that way.
Very good. That we have to adjourn this matter for 7 days. So we're going to adjourn to May 1st, 2026 at 1:50. So it sounds like you're on your way. You've paid 1,500. If it posts, you'll be down to 1,364. You'd have an additional 10 days. Of course, on May 1st, another month's rent is due.
Right.
And we'll address that. But you can work out some sort of payment agreement with the landlord. I would suggest that you do that. Mr. Bradshaw mentioned the possible conditional order of dismissal. That would be a method of resolving this. Mr. Bradshaw, why don't I give him, we'll give him your direct number again. You can call Mr. Bradshaw to discuss that.
Yeah. So folks, just call my direct number, and that number is, I see you're writing it down. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Area code 269-569-7590. One more time, 269-569-7590.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Barfield, I think we're going to be all right here. But yeah, otherwise, unless you hear otherwise, we'll get a conditional order of dismissal. You're to be here. You can come by Zoom once again next Friday, May 1st at 1:50. All right, you're good to go.
I think I'm all set.
I think you are. Thanks. Things always go smoothly when your firm is here. I do appreciate it.
Well,
we resolved a number of cases and others got dismissed, so we didn't really forward too much more to next week. These weeks that are the cusp of 1 month to the other often can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have in here is any.
I'll try to get these resolved before next week. If not, I'll see you next Friday then.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Now, I had a 950 matter with Mr. Rognus, RC Property Group versus Alicia Allinger. He emailed me and said that the matter was, he thought it was going to be dismissed because everything had been paid but the cost. So maybe there's a dismissal coming because neither party is here. This is the time of the morning that we switch from landlord-tenant to general civil matters. We have a couple of those this morning. But that is not good. Laura, would you see if you can get a bailiff to step in here? They don't answer the phone. I'm not sure it's even active. We don't have a way to contact the bailiff from the courtroom. And that's not good. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Welcome to my tiny desk concert from here at the new hearing room in the historic courthouse in Centerville. It's been some time since you've actually been here in person, but we've closed what was called the courts building down completely for reconstruction. And we're now in the big old historic building. And I'm in a small hearing room that Judge Patterson uses, and we're using this for landlord-tenant stuff.
Oh, wow.
And other matters, but I'm trying to get a bailiff in here. You can't.
Documentation and then to set out a new date.
That's good with me, and I'd get you that new date, but I need Missy to help me with that as well.
I understand.
I mean, basically, we do this every other Friday morning, give or take. But I don't know.
I think I had some conflicts, but I'm set with you again on June 5th. I think May I had conflicts, but I have another traffic, and it's specifically, I knew about the whole traffic thing this time, and it was with you. So that's on June 5th. So I know that's at least one option.
June 5th at 9? Or was it 10?
It's 10.
Okay. Well, if you're good with that, I'll just start preparing some journal entries on those dates.
That's fine with me.
And then I'll look at what you've sent and we'll see if we can get something worked out.
That sounds good.
My apologies for the late start, everyone. I was once again having problems getting my computer started and had to get Missy to make it work. So,
Problem, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I could request we take up both Patrick Williams and Wayman Brown. Miss Sherilyn Hearn is here on their behalf, has entered appearances recently. She has sent me some information to review, and so we're just needing some time, and she has another setting with us on June 5th at 10 as the proposed new date.
all right, that was for which defendant?
Patrick Williams and then Wyman E. Brown.
And Wyman Brown. All right, on the record in GW 2026 TR. On the record in GW 2026 TR 98, State of Kansas versus Wyman Edward Brown, and see if I can find Williams. I am not finding Williams. Is he under any other name?
Your Honor, he was actually already, I apologize.
I was on the 11 o'clock section.
That's okay.
Also, GW 2026 TR 189, State of Kansas versus Patrick L. Williams. I understand Paulie Dean appears for the state in both, and Attorney Sherilyn Hearn appears for each of the defendants. Are they here in person as well? Ms. Hearn, or are you here for them?
Mr. Brown is here on Zoom. Mr. Williams, I actually already set for 6-5 with your staff, so with Missy. So I would be appearing for him.
All right. And I understand the parties want these continued over to June 5th at 9 a.m. Is that right?
10, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
10 on both, June 5th at 10 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And that's your request as well, Ms. Hearn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that will be the order of the court then. Each case is continued to June 5th at 10 a.m. And the defendants must be back here at that time.
Dylan, I have not gotten this completed yet, but I just did use a basic fill in the blank. I'm going to just mark that you appeared on behalf of your clients, the new date, and then we've set it for a pretrial / status.
Sounds good.
You want me to email it to you, or you waive signature?
I'll waive signature. I trust you.
Got it. Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And then you have Mr. McElhaney. He and I were trying to get a breakout room, but I wasn't able to get through to Missy.
And she was tied up trying to help me, so.
That's what I assumed something was happening.
You know, Paul, I'm kind of in the same boat as I just sent the information on Tuesday, so I don't know if you've had a chance to see it or not. We could probably just continue it, give you a chance to look at it.
Yeah, I pick up the files on Monday when I'm down there for commission meeting. I'm generally in my office in Emporia, but no, that's fine, Your Honor. I'd ask that we just, Missy, if we've still got time on that June 5th date, that's sufficient.
Not at 10. Could we go to 9?
We can go wherever you tell us to go, Missy.
Okay. June 5th at 9.
This is on Victor Rios, Your Honor.
Thank you.
He's present online.
On the record in GW 2026 TR17, State of Kansas versus Victor Facundo Rios, Paul Dean for the state, Attorney Michael McElhaney for the defendant, who also appears in person. Gentlemen, you're asking this be continued to June 5th at 10, is that right? Or 9?
9.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is continued to June 5th at 9 a.m. If there's nothing further, defendant understanding he and counsel must be back here at that date and time by Zoom again. We will be in recess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McElhaney, same request to you. You waive signature, or you want me to email it to you for approval?
No, I'll waive it.
All right, thank you. Did we need I see we have an interpreter with us. Did we need the interpreter for Mr. Rios?
I don't.
I think, Victor, you can sign off. No,
We did have an interpreter. Yes,
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Mr. Moon. If you would please let Mr. Rios know that this is, well, did he just leave?
Yeah, he just left.
All right, Mr. McElhaney.
Thank you. Have a good
Needs
day.
to be back here.
So do we need the interpreter next time for him or not?
Missy, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have it worked out by then.
Okay. All right. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Moon, you want to see if anyone else here needs an interpreter? I don't think we do.
¿Alguien más necesita un intérprete? No.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Moon. Of course, we expect to compensate you for the time you gave us today, even though we didn't let you do your job. Thank you.
No, that's fine, Your Honor. So if for future interpretation services, you can just ask for me, Alex Moon, and I'm always available to help.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
I'd like
having
to-
me. Have a great day.
You too. You are excused. Mr. McClendon, who do you want to take up?
Judge, we could take up Mr. Hitchcock.
We will be on the record. He's set for 11. Is he here today or already? He
Yes,
is.
Your Honor. Both my clients had obligations, so I went ahead and had them both bumped up to
Okay,
Not-
till 9 o'clock. All right, we are on the record in GW 2025 TR 530, State of Kansas versus Derek Michael Dwayne Hitchcock. Please announce appearances.
The state of Kansas appears by through Assistant County Attorney Paul Dean.
William McClendon for the defendant, Derek Hitchcock, who appears via Zoom from a separate location counsel.
And what announcements have you today, sir?
Yes, Judge. The money owed on diversion should be at the county attorney's office today. He didn't get it mailed out earlier this week, so it'll hopefully be there today, and he'll be on diversion after today. So if we want to set a status in 2 weeks just to make sure it's gone through, that'd be great.
Are you telling me the check's in the mail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dean, your response to the request to continue it just to make sure it gets here?
I'm fine with setting it over to make sure that and this was on Derek Hitchcock, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's acceptable to say, John.
Okay, Missy, so what date and time do you want him back?
And we don't have to do it in 2 weeks. If we've got the money, I expect the stay order to be on file within 2 weeks. Oh, Mr. Rios still has not left. I thought he had left.
He did, but he just came back.
Oh, I see.
We could go for that June 5th at 11. And that's for diversion control, right? For both of them?
On Hitchcock, yes.
On Hitchcock, okay.
All right,
And
so
Miller,
we're here.
Miller, I think it's the same status, is it not? No.
It,
Well, I haven't
It's a-
called Miller, but
it's a diversion as well. And I'll address that when we get to it.
all right. So we are on the record also in GW 2023 TR 365, State of Kansas versus Victor M. Miller. Parties, please announce pronounces.
Your Honor, the state of Kansas appeared by and through.
Hold on. Did I call the wrong one?
Yes, that was the wrong case.
Riley.
Okay, Miller is Cooper. Victor Miller is Cooper's. Okay, we are on the record then in GW 2025 TR 501, State of Kansas versus Riley Jocelyn Miller.
Yes.
All right, so now please announce.
Your Honor, the state of Kansas appeared by and through Assistant County Attorney Paul Levine.
William McClendon for the defendant, Riley Miller, who appears via Zoom from a separate location of counsel.
And announcements, Mr. McClendon.
Yes, Judge, we need just a little more time for payment on this one. My client is a college student and she's, I believe she's in the middle of softball season right now. So she's not able to work a whole lot to get this paid. She plans on working here. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, she'll be able to come up with the money. Would June 5th work for you, Miss Miller?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, so we just,
That's fine, Your Honor. She has paid the initial diversion fee, and we do have a signed agreement in hand, so I don't have a problem setting that over for a little more time to get the rest of it in.
And that's what you're asking, Mr. McClendon, is to set it over to June 5th at 11?
yes, Your Honor.
That will be the order of the court. You'll need to be back here, Miss Miller, at that date and time unless your attorney tells you otherwise.
June 5th at what time?
11?
11.
Okay.
All right, you may go, Miss Miller.
Okay.
And Mr. McClendon, any others on here?
No, Your Honor, that's all I had for today.
All right, then you're excused as well. Now, Mr. Victor Rios, can you understand me at all? Mr. Rios, we let the interpreter go because you left first. Can you start your, click on that little red microphone with the line through it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Call your attorney.
Hello?
Okay, now I've got Victor Miller and Victor Rios. I'm trying, Mr. Miller, I'll be with you shortly.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone speak Spanish on here to tell him to call his attorney? Call your lawyer.
Morning.
Can you call your attorney and he'll tell you what happened?
Oh, Mr. McElhaney. Mr. Rios, you call Mr. McElhaney.
It's okay.
And you can go.
Okay.
All right.
None of that was Spanish, but I think I might have wanted charades today.
All right. You got my vote for winning. All right. Now let's go back to Victor Miller since I called him a while ago.
He's not till 10 o'clock and he has Mr. Cooper, I believe.
Oh, then I will have to wait for his attorney. Yeah, you're right. Okay. We have Brown. Mr. Pickett, are you ready? We'll be on the record in GW 2026 TR 91. State of Kansas versus James Dale Pickett.
Yes.
Paulie Dean for the state. Defendant James Pickett appears in person and pro se. I have you down for a bench trial starting at 9 o'clock. Are you still wanting a bench trial, Mr. Pickett?
For the traffic ticket?
Correct.
Right. Speeding 95 and a 65, failing to wear a seatbelt. I show you down for traffic today, and it looks like the state's ready to proceed if you want a trial.
Okay.
Is that what you're expecting today? Is I show you were pleading
No,
not-
that wasn't what I actually haven't had time to get, I'm trying to get counsel, but
Well, I show you were here March 24th of 2026 for the first appearance docket. We went over the charges and your rights, possible penalties. You pled not guilty. You're going to hire an attorney, and we set it for trial for today at 9 a.m.
okay.
So how are you planning to proceed today at this time?
I'll go ahead and go on it.
You want to go to trial with representing yourself? I'm sorry, I'm not hearing your answer, Mr. Pickett.
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that you could hire an attorney. I can't appoint an attorney because of the fact that these are citations. There's no jail time, but you can hire one, and you understand you had the chance to do that and did not do so?
I haven't been able to.
All right. And so now you want to waive your right and proceed on your own behalf. Is that right?
No, I'd really like to get counsel.
Okay. Well, you've had since March 24th, you've had exactly 1 month. What are you suggesting? You think some more time and you could get an attorney?
Had the tickets for 18th as well, Your Honor.
What's that, Mr. Dean?
This ticket's been outstanding since February 18th. I mean, that's when I definitely wanted to have an attorney, I would assume, but I'm not going to object. I'll leave it to the court's discretion.
Well, I feel like, Mr. Pickett, you've had a chance to get an attorney. We did talk about this would be set for trial today, so I'm basically prepared to proceed. If you're ready to proceed, we'll proceed.
Proceed.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and proceed.
All right. Mr. Dean, you want to call your first witness?
I'd call Greenwood County Deputy Michelson to testify, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Please lower your hand and you may proceed, Mr. Dean.
Deputy Michelson, could you please tell me give for the record your name and position or title?
Stephen Michelson, currently a sergeant with the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you served in that capacity, sir?
As a law enforcement officer?
As a law enforcement officer, yes, sir.
27 plus years.
And how long have you served as a sergeant?
Probably a year and a half or so now.
And what type of training have you had over the last 27 years in regards to interdiction of people exceeding the posted speed limits?
I went through radar and LiDAR training back in the early 2000s. I went to school to be a LiDAR radar instructor and just everyday experiences doing my job.
And is there any particular habit or custom you follow prior to deploying your radar device?
At the start of my shift each morning, I perform a internal self-test on my radar to make sure it's functioning properly. And periodically throughout the shift or the day, I might use my forks that are assigned to the radar to further check it again. And then the completion of my shift, I do another internal self-check.
All right, very good. And back on February 18th, 2026, at approximately 11:20 in the morning, what were you doing at that time?
I was patrolling U400 highway. I was originally traveling eastbound when I observed a vehicle traveling westbound at a high rate of speed.
That vehicle happened to be a four-door Buick.
Yes, sir.
And was that around mile post 339?
That is correct. Approximately that area, yes, sir.
And were these observations, or is that location and the observations you made, did they all occur within the corporate confines of the borders of Greenwood County?
Yes.
All right. Once you saw the vehicle traveling at what appeared to be a high rate of speed, what did you then do?
Utilizing the front antenna on radar unit, I was able to activate it, and I checked the vehicle speed at 95 miles an hour. I received a strong, steady, audible tone from a radar, indicating I had a good signal.
All right. And what was the signal, or what did you both do?
I'm sorry?
I said after obtaining that signal, what speed were you? Was your radar indicating?
95 miles an hour.
And what's the posted speed limit in the area?
65.
And what did you then do after obtaining that reading?
When it was safe to do so, I performed a U-turn because I was traveling eastbound. The vehicle in question was traveling westbound. And I began to activate my emergency equipment, and I closed the gap, conducting a traffic stop on the vehicle.
All right. And how did the vehicle respond to your emergency lights?
Once I caught up to it, he yielded. He pulled to the right and yielded appropriately.
And were you able to make contact with the driver?
I was.
And do you see that driver with us here today?
That'd be Mr. Pickett. On my computer, he's in the top right corner as I look at my screen.
It says James Pickett. Is that the screen you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
And were you also able to identify him with a true driver's license?
Yes, he provided me with documentation, sir.
All right. What observations did you make of Mr. Pickett? Yes, Mr. Pickett, when you approached the vehicle?
Just informed him of the reason of the stop. He was not wearing a seatbelt. I inquired if he had a medical exemption or reason to not wear a seatbelt. And he just said that he's big and he doesn't wear them.
Did he make any statements to you about his speed?
I believe it's been several months, but I think it was in the reference that he wasn't paying attention.
After that contact and identification and obtaining his documentation, what did you then do?
I proceeded back to my vehicle, wrote the citation, and went back into my vehicle and issued the citation to him and completed the traffic stop.
Your Honor, if I haven't done so already, I just note that's the record reflect that Sergeant Michelson has identified Mr. Pickett as the defendant in this particular case.
The record shows.
An officer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Pickett, what did you say?
That wasn't the officer that pulled me over, but it's not relevant anyways. I'm sorry.
Well, you'll get
Go
your
ahead.
chance to present your defense, but I will have the record reflect that the witness, Sergeant Michelson, did identify the defendant, James Pickett, as the driver he stopped, also James Pickett. Anything further, Mr. D?
Mr. Michelson, based upon that, have you changed your appearance in any significant way since this traffic stop?
I've shaved my beard off, I guess, my goatee and beard, yes.
All right. I have no further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Pickett, can you still hear me okay?
Barely.
I do have a way to increase my volume. Maybe that will help you.
I'm listening.
Mr. Pickett, now is your chance, if you wish to cross-examine the officer, to do so, to question him about you said he wasn't the officer that stopped you. If you want to talk to him about that, question him about it, now is the time to do that. You can't testify yet. It's not time.
I guess give me the ticket. I'll pay it.
Well, are you saying you want to stop the trial and enter a plea of guilty and pay the ticket? Is that what you just said, or basically implied? Or do you want to cross-examine this witness?
It's not the officer that pulled me over, right? I know that.
Hey, why don't you ask him about that if you want? He just said he did, but you could ask him any questions.
Yeah, the officer was younger. I don't know what I'd ask him. He's saying he's the one that was there, and there's no way to fight that.
Well, if there's anything you want to ask him to question his credibility, to show me that he wasn't the officer that was there, I'll sure allow you to do it. You're entitled.
Okay, were you there?
All right, Sergeant Michelson, the question to you is, were you there?
Yes, I was. I was alone. I was alone when I contacted them.
Talk to each other. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, I was alone when I contacted you.
Any follow-up on that, Mr. Pickett?
No.
Okay. All right, any redirect, Mr. Dean?
No, Your Honor.
Any other evidence, Mr. Dean?
A state would rest at this time, Your Honor.
All right, now, Mr. Pickett?
Yes.
The state has just rested. That means they've presented all the evidence they intend to for this trial. Now it's your turn to present evidence. You can testify yourself if you want. You don't have to, and it won't be used as guilt. You can call any other witnesses you might have, even this officer as your witness if you want.
There's nobody else there.
Okay. Do you want to testify yourself then?
What?
Do you want to testify? That is, tell me what you remember about the incident?
It seemed to go the same way he said, but as I said, it's not him.
Let's hold on. Raise your right hand, please.
Yes.
Mr. Pickett, let me see your right hand if I could, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Now, please state your name for the record.
James Pickett.
Okay. And you're the defendant in this case, correct? That is, you're the one charged with speeding 95 and 65 and not wearing a seatbelt on Highway 400 in Greenwood County, Kansas on, where's the top of that ticket? On February 18th, 2026 at 11:20 in the morning. You're the defendant accused of that, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, what do you want to tell me about February 18th, 2026 around 11:20 a.m.?
I was driving and then all of a sudden the cop were behind me and I pulled over, did as everything said, but that's not the officer that was there.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, Mr. Dean, any cross-examination of the defendant?
Briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Pickett, I take it by your statements that you acknowledge that on February 18th, somebody from Greenwood County Sheriff's Department stopped you for speeding, correct?
Yes.
And that you weren't wearing your seatbelt, is that correct?
Yes.
And it sounds like you even acknowledged that you were speeding on that date. Is that correct?
I guess I was, like, as I said, I was driving.
All right, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any further evidence, Mr. Pickett? Any other witnesses?
No.
Very well. I do find, Mr. Pickett, then, that you were speeding and not wearing your seatbelt as alleged. I find it very interesting that you're saying that was not the same officer you recall, and yet he's very adamant. But in any event, the evidence is uncontradicted that you were speeding as alleged of 95 and a 65 without a seatbelt, so I will find you guilty of both charges. Recommendations for sentencing, if any, Mr. Dean?
Schedule fine, Your Honor, and set a time for failure to appear.
Okay.
Go to college in Maryland. Remind me.
I went to Goucher College, Your Honor.
See? Okay. Oh, that's a Maryland girl. I'll listen to her. Go ahead. Permission to practice. It's granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. What are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, the parties have executed a consent order for conditional dismissal, and I believe that opposing counsel has sent over a copy of that conditional dismissal to Madam Clerk. I'm not sure if 100%, but they can confirm that.
Yes, we have.
Okay, and then I can also put the terms on the record if the court would allow me to.
Yes, you can go. Where did you send it, counsel?
I
sent it to Spidling.
I believe so. Yes.
You see it?
Okay.
All right. Well, we look for that. Go ahead. Place the terms on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The parties have facilitated a consent order for conditional dismissal. The terms are as follows. Everything in paragraph 2 does not apply here. This is a termination of tenancy. Further conditions in paragraph 3 are as follows: that the defendant acknowledges and agrees to the following: that her lease expires on May 31st, 2026, that her lease will not be renewed, that the defendant can remain in her unit until she voluntarily clears belongings, vacates premises, and turns in keys to plaintiff by June 12th, 2026, so long as there are no further lease violations during that time. Additionally, defendant's $350 washer or dryer charges are to be paid, or the account is to be brought current by June 12th, 2026. This is a box 4B conditional dismissal, MCR 4.201J. That box is also checked, and I believe that the parties have executed that agreement. Signatures for both sides are present on the document.
All right. Set a correct statement of the agreement, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't have it. You may need to send another copy if Ms. Weidling is indicating that she does not see it in her email.
She may, Your Honor, David Santa Croce, she may have filed, our administrator may have filed that just in the general filing thing, but we'll check that out. Would you like it to go?
Yeah, because I have no idea when it's going to get down to me.
Okay.
I don't mean it. I don't mean that badly.
No.
If you could just send a copy to Ms. Weidling, then I can get it signed off on it.
I'll ask her to do that right now, Your Honor.
All right. This case is conditionally dismissed based upon those terms, and I will sign the order once it comes back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And young ladies, is this it for you? You guys aren't before me anymore.
Yes, this
Not
is
that I
it.
remembered the first time, right? But whatever. All right. So you guys are done. Was it a worthwhile experience for you?
Yeah, it was great. Learned a lot.
Despite Mr. Santa Croce, it was good?
Yeah, despite him.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure having you guys before me. All right. You guys take care of yourselves. Wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great weekend.
Take care. Michaela Green versus James Sanders.
Hello, Your Honor. Hello, Your Honor. Sorry, I froze up there for a second. Attorney Pompovitz on behalf of Michaela Green. I also have our property manager here, Leisha. She's under the Michaela Green screen. And I think Sanders is here. The other tenant, let's see, he's not here. He wasn't here last week either. This matter was put off from last week to this week for the parties to try to work out a resolution. That did not come to fruition over the course of the last week. The other tenant's name is Garrett, and he was served by substitute service, so we wouldn't be able to secure a money judgment against him today if the court was so inclined to enter a judgment. But James, who was personally served, is here, and I see him on screen. Admittedly, and just for full transparency, James did call my office this week. I missed those calls. I did call him back yesterday, but hadn't heard back from him yet.
All right. All right, Mr. Sanders, what do you want to tell me?
I had a medical issue come up, Judge Simpson, and I'm back to work. I would like to make a payment plan to where I could get this all caught up, if that's possible.
All right. Well, let me ask this. How much is monthly rent?
$11.15.
Okay. So,
and I would agree I'm paying like $1,000 every 2 weeks until I get it all caught up.
well, that's going to take you, say, 1,000 every 2 weeks just to catch up the balance. Once May clicks in, you're going to be at a figure of about $7,000.
Yes, and I also had to reapply for the DHS SCR help because they put me in the wrong county. And I just did that last night, and I still haven't heard anything back from them on that.
You mean they made an error and put you in the wrong county?
Correct.
What county did they put? They put you in Monroe.
No, they put me in Washtenaw.
But you're in Monroe.
Correct.
Hold it. What'd you say? Is this property located in Monroe County or Washtenaw County?
Monroe.
Alicia, can you advise, is it?
We are in Monroe County, but all of everything goes through Washtenaw. Does that make sense?
No.
Milan is half and half, so half is
No,
Monroe.
I understand Milan. I've been in this county forever. So I understand that, but the proper venue specifically under the new rules is that it has to be filed where the property's located. So it used to be, I get what you're saying. It used to be that in the split areas for us, it was Whitmore Lake and Monroe and Milan. It could be filed in either of them, most of them choosing to come to Washtenaw. Understood. But now the way the rule reads, proper venue for the case has to be in the county proper venue is in the court where the property is located. And so these are on the other side of the bridge.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
They're on the Monroe side of the river or the water, right? Okay. Counsel?
Yeah, may I have a chance to address I understand your position.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. So first, and most important to my property manager, we have been told by the court that it's Monroe County, not Washtenaw. So we won't go forward today. I with all due respect to the Honorable Judge Simpson, he understands that it should be refiled. That's helpful information to us. I will take full responsibility. It sounds as if it's a wacky, kind of a wonky gray area in some respects, but our office will take full responsibility with respect to that. We will refile. The complex will not be assessed a duplicate filing fee or anything else. These are some things that I think that if we're practicing in this area, we should troubleshoot. We should be ahead of and understand the nuances. It happens. It's down in Flint. There's multiple courts and it happens. It happens in Grand Traverse County and Leelanau County. We'll refile. To Mr. Sanders, I will say, Mr. Sanders, I've heard what you indicated to the judge about your payment plan. You need to work very aggressively over the time period for me to get this case refiled in Monroe. a repayment plan of the nature you're describing will not suffice, the complex will not agree. We need you to get third-party assistance that rectifies this situation, allows you to bring your rent current throughout that court's process, or we will effectively evict you under an order of eviction once the proper court has a chance to review the process. This is not a situation where we can draw it out extensively. It's now already, through my own misfiling, been drawn out enough. I hope that you have this additional time and secure some third-party assistance.
All right. I'm going to stop you because, you know, he can try to get this paid. I think that's the best way, and I don't want it where it sounds like it's a threat against him.
I apologize.
He's just doing what he's doing. So I can do this one of two ways, counsel. I can either, and you'd have to pay the cost of the transfer. I can transfer it because and so that you're clear, and I don't think it's necessarily anybody's fault. The jurisdiction that I sit in, we also border Ann Arbor. There is a split area of Whitmore Lake, which is Livingston and Washtenaw County. There's then Milan, which is that. I've got Ypsi City bordering Ypsi Township. So this happens. All right. So it's not that unusual. Usually it doesn't happen in Milan because at least the split happens at a river as opposed to some indiscriminate street. But I get what your property manager is saying, that everything used to head this way. So I don't look at it as anything bad or anybody did anything wrong. You just did what you normally would do. I can either dismiss this and you can refile, or I can transfer it. And then the cost of transfer would be borne by you. I don't know. I know inter-county, when we were doing it in Washtenaw County, that's a quick process. I don't know how that process would occur theoretically because I'm crossing a county line. But I'll do it whichever way you want me to do it.
Gosh, I'm not really sure what's the best. So I'm gonna take a guess, and I'm sure in 30 days I'll probably regret it, just with my history, regretting my own decisions. But I'm thinking that it's possibly better and more streamlined to just refile and give the judge that's going to have the opportunity of the first hearing, rather than have to have all of this explained to him or her on a transfer. Your Honor, I also, and for Mr. Sanders, none of what I appreciate you interjected. There's nothing, obviously payment cures this. I just wanted to be clear. I was maybe being a little overzealous.
I understand 100%.
All right.
All right. This case is dismissed. I'm just going to indicate improper venue and then leave you to refile on your own. And Mr. Sanders, the other thing, just to explain to you, I don't know what resources are going to be available in Monroe County. They won't be the same ones here. So if you had contacted our Hawk services, I don't believe that the property being in Monroe County, that they're going to cover that if you were going through that process. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanders. Thank you, Your Honor. Pleasure being in front of you.
Thank you. Yes. Good luck. Peninsula Place versus Kiva Henderson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Rebecca Austin for plaintiff.
Kiva Henderson. I got an email from him.
Asking if I wanted proofs. I said anything he sent. I'm printing the file.
I have an email, and I don't know if it was sent to you, counsel, indicating that he is attending BLC, a military course, and won't be able to attend his hearing today because he's in the military.
Right. You're right. I did not, but he did tell us, I think, when we were here last time about 2 weeks ago, that he was going to be on some type of military assignment beginning, I think, last Friday or something, and he likely would not be able to attend. And you promised you would not let anything bad happen to him, so I assume that you're going to adjourn the case. And
I'm not going to let anything bad happen. So you're right.
Because I think those were your exact words. I will not let anything bad happen to you.
Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't say when
was not just a trip today.
It's a drill, but he was also waiting, and counsel, I didn't write it down, but I think he's awaiting something from the military to pay this in full.
That is, yeah, Holly's here too. She's nodding. I think that is exactly.
I
what-
see Holly. Holly's like someplace outside. Where Holly's like out, like
Looks
I
like
don't know
Holly's
what.
at lunch.
Oh, Holly's at lunch. Okay, all right, very good. That's what I figured. It looked like she was at like at an outdoor cafe.
I think that's exactly right. I did not get that invitation, Your Honor.
Yeah. What I will do is, why don't I do this? Let me just adjourn it to my next date of May 8th, see where he's at and see what they do.
Very good. What time?
1 p.m. So I'll adjourn this to May 8th, 2026, 1 p.m.
Perfect.
All right. Then that's that one. Peninsula Place versus Lauren Goodwin.
Rebecca Austin for plaintiff, Your Honor.
What'd you say?
Was
She was here, but is no longer here. She just dropped, or
Well, Your Honor, she
Wow.
told you she was going to pay $300. She did pay $300. It dropped her balance down to like $200. I'm going to dismiss her case, and so maybe she got wind of that, and hence
Good enough.
the call.
All right, I will dismiss her case. That is without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Peninsula Place versus Zaria Fisher.
Rebecca Austin for plaintiff, Your Honor.
She's
I'm
here.
here.
Okay, hello, Miss Fisher.
Hello.
All right, where are we on her case?
Your Honor, she did pay the $1,000 last week, which brought her balance to $1,505.51, and I don't believe she's made any other payments. And if Holly could, I think, confirm no more payments. No,
I
no.
did make a payment.
Holly doesn't know. It's not on the menu. What? No, I'm kidding. Okay, Miss Fisher, what were you saying?
I did make a payment today. I made a payment of $750. I was supposed to pay the balance in full, but I had another bill come up that I had to pay. So if you are,
hold on, Miss Fisher. You paid $750 today?
Yes.
Okay. What time did you do that?
I did that at like 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay. All right. Holly, you know anything about that? Or
Did you bring a money order into the office?
I did.
Okay, so you were there speaking with Gabby when I was speaking with somebody else.
Yes. Yeah, that was me.
Okay. All right. Yes.
all right. So that was 750?
Yes.
All right. So trying to think of the best way to deal with this, but your monthly rent is how much, Miss Fisher?
I think it's like $10.89. I don't know. I just pay.
It's
I got a rental rate of $11.07.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
So here's what I'm going to do. You've cut this balance basically in half. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen real quick. When do you think you're going to be able to get that other half of that $1,500 paid?
I can pay that by Friday.
By the 1st?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Fisher. I'm going to grant them a judgment for possession. What I'm basically doing is I'm locking that figure in, the 1505.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've already paid half of that. And what will happen is this judgment will give you, I'm not including May in it, because if I go past the 1st, I've got to include your May rent in everything.
Right.
So you just get the other half paid, you'll be all set. And if they want to come after you for May, and because you're not going to get that in on time, then they'd have to file a new case and come after you. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
It does.
All right. I'm just trying to do it a safe way for you. Counsel, including costs, your total amount, is it 1505.51?
Yeah, Your Honor, do you want me to take off that $750 to make that judgment more accurate if you made that payment? I don't want to.
I would if you have verification that the payment's made. I think I don't know whether what Holly was really saying was she saw her there and who she was talking to. I don't know if that was a verification of the payment. So I guess let's do it this way. Take it for the 15th. I think it was 150551. Is that your balance? All right. So we'll take the judgment for the 150551. Or I'm sorry. Yes, 51. And that's inclusive of cost and everything. We'll take the judgment for that amount. Under paragraph 10, indicate that the $750 payment by defendant will be credited against that amount.
Okay, perfect.
And we'll do it that way. You understand that, Ms. Fisher?
Yeah.
Okay. And then a writ date in 10 days, that will give you to the 4th to get it paid that Monday, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get balance minus the 750?
I'm sorry?
Can I get the balance minus the 750? That's supposed to be
Okay,
crazy.
that
So I know
should
how much.
be, bet you it's
755.
755.51. 755.51. I did that in my head.
All right.
I am so
And
proud
then-
of me.
Every day you said was May 4th, correct?
Yes, you need to get that paid by May 4th. Do you think you can get it done by then, Ms. Fisher?
Of course.
Pardon?
I said of course, yeah.
Okay, if you can get it done, then I won't look at extending that time, but just get it done and then you'll be all set and then work on May.
All righty, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Take care.
You too. Have a nice one.
You do the same. And I think that's it, Ms.
Good.
Austin.
It is, Your Honor.
All
Thank you.
right.
Have a great weekend.
You do the same. Holly, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the weather. All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care,
I'm
guys.
sorry. My director has me out for lunch today because I got Employee of the Year. It's
Oh,
for
congratulations.
No.
Holly.
No, don't apologize.
Thank
That's
you.
great. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Linda Fry versus Erwin Bradley. Isn't, did we give him permission? Okay.
Once I search my name up, they're gonna be like, okay.
Mr. Bradley, you got a camera?
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. Yes, sir. I am at work
there
right
you
now.
go. No, you're good. You're good. We
Okay.
got you.
I only have
All right.
9 minutes on my break. I won't be able to stay on camera face to face if there's
No,
any,
okay.
like-
All right.
Okay.
We'll let it happen. I've seen you that you're there. All
Okay.
right. He paid the 2,000. He was gonna pay.
1,000.
Pardon?
Yes, I'm
Go ahead.
yes, I was trying to pay her 1,000 on the 28th, and I was trying to continue the payment plan of 1,000 every 2 weeks.
Is that acceptable to you, Ms. Fry?
Oh, it's not, because I don't want this dragged out all summer. I'm losing tenants over him, and I've already lost a good one, and I've got 2 more that are threatening to leave, and I just can't. If he pays up, then I can adjust, but I've gotten a lot of empty.
How much is Owen?
3,000.
I think it's 3,400.
3,419.32, and that's with utilities only through mid-March. There's another batch of utilities coming in that'll be through mid-April, and then for however long.
Sir, if you pay the 1,000 on the 28th, that'll bring that balance on the judgment. If I enter a judgment today down to 2,400, when can you get 2,400 into her?
I could have it in like, I would say a month. I could try to find a loan. I do have.
Well, you're gonna have to do it
MBHS.
before then. Here's what I'm gonna do. And I'm
Okay.
doing this I'm gonna grant a judgment today to lock this figure in. This isn't gonna include any of your May charges. It's only gonna include the charges for today. Gonna grant her a
Okay.
judgment for possession. Court finding no tribal issue after a hearing. And then what I'm gonna do in terms of the writ date is indicate that if defendant pays the $1,000 on the
28th, sir.
28th, that's on April 28th, then the writ extended to May 15th. So here's the deal. If you don't pay that on the 4th, the writ will issue on the 4th. If you don't pay that by the 28th, the $1,000, the writ will issue on May 4th, the 10 days.
Okay.
If you pay
Yes, sir.
the $1,000 on the 28th, I'm going to extend the writ date to May 15th.
Okay.
Give you extra time.
Thank
Got
you
it?
so much, Your Honor.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Fry, you'll need to file a judgment reflecting that out at the front counter.
I file a judgment?
You file a judgment reflecting what I've ordered at the front counter.
Okay.
Thank you.
The clerk office?
Pardon?
It'll be down at the clerk office?
Yes, you'll pick up a judgment
do
down there.
Your Honor, I give her the cash, or do I bring it to the clerk's office again?
No, you give it to Miss Fry.
Okay.
All right. I don't need to watch you guys count out. All right. Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
have a
much,
good
Your Honor.
weekend. Court stands
You
in
too.
recess.
All rise.